Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dr. Pepper Ballpark for Game 1 of the 2021 Lone Star Diamond Classic presented by BCSG 360 and the Frisco Rough Riders between Southern University and University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Brian Fulford and Nick Strong here calling Game 1 of this three-game series here. And we will set the lineups for Arkansas Pine Bluff in the field, the home team for this series. And then I will pass it over to Nick, who'll set the batting lineup for Southern coming up here in the top of the first. In left field for the Golden Lions, number 28, Casey Higgins, the junior from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and Pine Bluff High School. In center field is Timothy Martin, the sophomore from Snellville, Georgia. In right field, Braylon Hintz. Braylon, a redshirt sophomore from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, went to Watson Chapel. And on the infield, on third base, number 23, Karsten Vasquez, the sophomore from Alameda, California. The shortstop, Dante Leach. Dante is a freshman from out of Sacramento, California. The second baseman, DeClaudio Irvin. DeClaudio is a sophomore from Midwest City, Oklahoma. And on first base, Connor James. Connor's a freshman from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Behind the plate catching, Edwin De La Cruz. Edwin is a freshman from Ridgewood, New York, And on the mound for Arkansas Pine Bluff, Joel Barker. And Joel on the season, this is his fourth appearance, fourth start. With a record currently of 0-3 in 12.1 innings with an 11.68 ERA. Nick, got the starting lineup here for Southern.
Yeah, starting off for the Southern Jaguars and 6 for 6 on the base paths this year. Leading off playing left field, Isaiah Adams. Judah Wilbur will play shortstop. He bats second. In a three-hole, O'Neal Bourgeois. He's the DH for the day. Behind the dish, Tosh Porter batting fourth. Tremaine Spears batting fifth. Went 5 for 13 in his last series versus Rice. Xavier Moore batting sixth. Bubba Thompson batting seventh. Colton Frank playing first base. And run out the lineup in the 9-hole will be the shortstop, Jalen Armstrong. It's going to be a good one today, Coach.
All right. Adams, the right-hander, coming up to the plate for our first pitch. Beautiful scenery. Nice day. Slight breeze.
Brisk.
Yeah.
It's a nice brisk breeze here.
Moving from right field to left. Looks like it's moving out. So I don't know if somebody gets a nice shot heading out towards left field. The wind might grab hold of it. Here comes the first pitch. Right past the shortstop. And an opening game single right past the third baseman and the shortstop on the first pitch swinging Isaiah Adams. Nice start for Southern.
And great job there by Isaiah Adams to understand that Joel Barker, he's going to come in throwing strikes to start the game. He picked a pitch he picked a pitch he liked and put it right through the 5-6 hole. And watch out for him on the base paths. He's 6 for 6 on the stolen bases.
Barker, well aware of Adams' base stealing capabilities, checks over at first.
Coach James is going to take away the sacrifice. He has a third baseman there, Karsten Vasquez, playing in on the grass.
Into right field, playing with it a little bit in the sun there. Nice catch by Hintz.
And good job out there by Braylon Hintz, knowing where the sun is as it starts to set here in Frisco, Texas. Put his glove up was the first thing he did to block that sun. You know, that's what your old Little League coach taught you back in 4th and 5th grade there, Brian. You got to put your glove up and block that sun. And right there, he was able to get that ball for the first out of the game, which is always one of the hardest outs to get. Great job there by the Lions.
Yeah, and that is exactly based on where this park is. The sun is coming from over the third base, left field side, so directly in the eyes of the right fielder and center, also the second baseman. And it'll be interesting to watch as the shadows move over the course of the probably first 3 innings, how that affects. There's a shot that's got a chance to get into the gap. Going all the way to the wall with that shot is Burgess. Rounding home is Adams, and stopping at second with a double, O'Neal Burgess.
And again, great job there by the Southern Jag offensive attack. Just came in and picking pitches their like to put it right back to the wall. A good double to start off, and Isaiah Adams scores from first base. Great job there by the Jaguars.
So we mentioned Barker's ERA at 11.68, already off to a tough start here. At the plate, Taj Porter. Taj takes that one inside. Ball 1. Interesting to see early, Southern coming out swinging early.
Yeah, and there's Coach James going hard in, out soft outside, and trying to throw off these batters' rhythm right there. Joel Barker had some trouble in his last start versus Texas Southern. Didn't have the best outing, but he's trying to rebound right here as he missed his start last week versus Prairie View.
A 2-0 pitch. And that will be ball 3. Three balls, no strikes here. Taj Porter at the plate. And that one's high, and he'll walk. And so tough 4 pitches there for Barker. That'll put runners on first and second for Southern.
Not the best job right there by Barker, but don't forget, Brian, that the double play is still in order right there. First base was half to give. And as we know, Taj Porter on the season batting .231, you don't want to let him hurt you. But here's the man right here, Tremaine Spears. You definitely want to put the ball in play, give him something soft outside, look for the double play right here.
Runners on first and second. Barker and the Golden Lions with an opportunity here if they can turn a double play to get out of this inning, having only given up 1. 1-0 lead for Southern right now. 1 out. Tremaine Spears at the plate. Barker goes inside. Ball 1.
And I thought the catcher wanted to check him there. I know he kind of went halfway, and first base umpire looked like he wanted to ring him up, but he didn't get asked for the call.
1-0 pitch. Called strike.
If Barker's going to be successful today, Brian, he wants to stay around that corner of the plate, inside and outside. Work it hard in, soft out, which he just did right there. Great job there by the pitching staff at Pine Bluff.
1-1 pitch for Barker. Outside, ball 2.
Big gap out there in left center field.
Called strike. Runners moving. And Pine Bluff seemed to just allow that to happen there. So takes away the double play.
Great job right there by the Southern Jaguars catching the Golden Lions off guard with the double steal. And that's what you do when you see the defense not paying attention. But the catcher tried to go backdoor pick it too because that was a slower runner, but he just wasn't on mark.
Right back to the pitcher. He checks. He's going back home. Tag out. A little surprised that runner was running there on with only 1 out. That's a little surprising there.
Well, nevertheless, great job there by the pitcher to get the ball. I mean, you have to field your position, and that's something that the college coaches work on every day with the pitchers, Brian. PFPs, pitchers fielding positions. And once he got that ball, he had to look towards the runner and get the proper throw there to the catcher. And they're right there for the tag, and he got an out, 2 outs for the Golden Lions.
So Taj Porter moves over to third. Tremaine Spears goes to first on the fielder's choice. And Xavier Moore at the plate, the third baseman for Southern, takes ball 1.
First and third situation here, 2 outs. I'm possibly looking for the steal right here to see if there's a play made up the middle.
Moore goes back over to first. Want to give your team an opportunity here, so if he can hold Spears at first, obviously Spears would like to try to get over into scoring position over at second if he can to take away the force. Called strike, 1-1 count.
And now you see the second baseman and shortstops on those plays as they're backing up the pitcher and they're moving towards the bag after every throw back to the catcher. You don't want to catch that runner. You don't want the first base runner to catch you sleeping over there in the middle of the field.
The 1-1 pitch. Ball 2. The 2-1 pitch by Barker goes back over to first.
And one thing Barker is doing right now, he's not only throwing off the timing of the runner, but he's also throwing off the timer of the batter. That's something that you want to do to these batters at Southern University.
Ball 3. Moore's in a good position here at the plate. 3 balls and 1 strike. Runners on the corners. Barker to the plate. And the bases will be loaded as Moore takes the walk. And that's the second walk of the inning by Joel Barker. And the bases are loaded here. So already some early fireworks here as second baseman Bubba Thompson comes to the plate now. First pitch, ball 1.
That's 5 straight balls there for Barker. And, you know, with the bases loaded, you definitely don't want the 7-hole hitter to hurt you in this situation.
To the plate. Called strike. For Southern, Taj Porter is on third. Tremaine Spears at second. Xavier Moore is on first. On the outside corner, and for the first time today, Barker is ahead of the batter.
Yeah, and with those 2 strikes, you don't want to let the batter hurt you on anything hard inside or hard over the plate. You want to keep it away from him right here. Maybe pitch for the strikeout or get that pop fly or that ground ball that you need.
The 1-2 pitch. Swinging, caught him, and nice job. Way to get out of that inning there by Joel Barker, picking up the strikeout on Bubba Thompson. Southern with 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base. We'll come back and head to the bottom of the first. After this, you're watching the 2021 Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
I'm attorney Clinton Paris, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Parish, we take the pain out of being heard.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Sugar Chateau Desserts is a specialty bakery located in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. We will create delicious and one-of-a-kind treats for any occasion. Sugar Chateau is currently shipping cakes in a jar, offering a variety of different flavors in a single-serve container that can help you celebrate in accordance with social distancing. Place your orders today by calling 803-526-7895 or visiting Sugar Chateau Desserts.
Preparing for the bottom of the first, Southern out on the field. Arkansas Pine Bluff will come to the plate. We'll set the defensive alignment out in the outfield and infield for Southern. In left field is Isaiah Adams. In center, you have Jalen Armstrong. Armstrong we did not see in that last inning. In right field, you have Tremaine Spears. On third base is Xavier Moore. The shortstop, Judah Wilbur. Second baseman is Bubba Thompson. First base, Colton Frank. And behind the plate, Taj Porter. And on the mound, for Southern, Wilhelm Allen. He is making his fifth appearance with a 5.3 ERA, 1-2 on the year, and 18.2 innings.
Let's take it through the Arkansas Pine Bluff offensive batting order here. Batting first, DeCaudio Irvin leading off playing second base. Braylon Hintz batting second, playing right field. Behind the dish batting third, Edwin Dela Cruz. Connor James batting fourth, playing first base. DHing today, Nick Kreutzer batting sixth. Tim Martin playing center field. Dante Leach at shortstop, batting seventh. Carson Vasquez at third base, batting eighth. And rounding out the lineup, Casey Higgins in left field.
Irvin fouls off the first pitch from Allen. Irvin, a sophomore from Midwest City, Oklahoma. Second pitch, fouls that one off as well.
Great job there by Mr. Allen to get ahead in the count, as you talked about earlier for Barker. Getting ahead of the count and early in the game sets you up for a good weekend. You don't want to waste all your pitches, and you don't want to get to your bullpen too early. Great job right there getting on the first two strikes of the contest.
0-2 pitch.
Make it the first three strikes of the contest.
Irvin staying alive. The only Golden Lion in the lineup that has played and started all 12 contests this year. The 0-2 pitch. And was reaching on that one, swinging. And first strikeout of the day for Southern is Wilhelm Allen.
Great job there by Allen. He just kind of stayed outside. He set up the plane there, high, medium, low, and he just kind of kept going outside and finally hit him with that sweeping curveball. Great job there by Allen.
Right fielder Braylon Hintz comes up. The redshirt sophomore from right out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
And it's always good to have a couple of hometown kids on your baseball team. You want that family support. You want that, camaraderie there with the city. You want that familiarity out there.
A little outside on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hintz batting .250 on the year. Caught him swinging on that one. And Allen up ahead. 1-2 now. And that'll go into left center there. And the first hit of the contest for UAPB.
Brian, they call that hitting the ball where it's pitched. He got one up in the zone on the outside half of the plate and just kind of poked it out there right behind the shortstop in short left center field. And, you know, the Golden Lions have their first base runner. Now, this is where it gets kind of good at. You know, last week, a couple of weeks ago, I saw Edwin De La Cruz behind the dish. You know, he was able to spray the ball left center right field. So let's kind of see what he does right here.
He takes the first pitch, and it'll be ball one. One-oh pitch by Allen. Inside swinging, strike one.
And as you see the Southern Jaguars defense playing double play depth, middle, back, squeeze in the middle. Third base is even behind, so they're giving them some room to swing and hit the ball.
And that's called ball. Ball two, so 2 balls, 1 strike. To Claudio Irvin on first. Caught him swing again, 2-2 now.
And Allen challenging him here early on, inside fastball, and just kind of putting it right past him. Want to get it in on his hands to try to produce that ground ball double play. Great job there by Wilhelm Allen.
I haven't seen, oh, well, just as I was going to say, I haven't seen Allen really look over to first base. There he goes. The 2-2 pitch, swinging strike, and second strikeout of the inning for Allen.
Yeah, there's that sweeping breaking pitch again. Just kind of setting it up in a plane, like you said, hard inside, soft away. That's one of the things that these college coaches are doing nowadays, and you can see it pay off. Coach James over there on the offensive side, he's going to have to talk to his team about the pitch sequence that the Southern Jaguars are using today.
Connor James at the plate for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Take a moment.
Connor James trying to disrupt Allen's momentum out there.
Runner's going. The second, and throws a bit high. That'll be a stolen base for Braylon Hintz.
Yeah, Braylon Hintz got off to a good start right there. He saw the leg kick go up, and, you know, he just kind of took off in hopes that he can get to that bag. Wanted to put himself in scoring position for Connor James right here, being Connor James is one of the RBI guys here on the Pine Bluff baseball team.
Into center field. And resting right underneath that, Jalen Armstrong. And that's how this inning will come to an end for Pine Bluff. 0 runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We'll go to the second. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
Now, you can't live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
Top of the second inning for Southern with a 1-0 lead right now at the plate. First baseman Colton Frank. And good start there for Joel Barker as he gets a strike. Shot, let's see if the shortstop just passed the outreached arms of the shortstop, and that'll be a single for Frank.
Good job right there by Coach and Frank, Brian. You know, batting 138 on the season, batting in the 8th hole, and, you know, just kind of letting his coach know, hey, he's still got it. You know, you recruited me to come here and do a job, and for him to be a leadoff man right here in the second inning, that's a good job by him getting on base with the leadoff hit.
Jalen Armstrong, the center, comes to the plate. Isaiah Adams is on deck. Ball one as Armstrong showed bunt, pulled out of there real quick. And again, Southern got off to a quick start in the last inning with a first batter single and have done so again here in the second. The bunt up the first base line, fielded, and no. James and Barker unable to connect there. Barker, the first baseman, I don't know if that was, see if they call that a single, or what do we have there?
Well, I'm going to give him a single on that because he dragged for a hit down the first base line. Great job right there making the adjustment. Actually, on that first pitch, it looks as though he was trying to bunt for a sacrifice. When the Golden Lions kind of picked up the play, you know, he kind of changed his stance at the last second and put it down the first base line. I like that thinking right there. Put some pressure on this defense. Great job, Coach Crenshaw.
Now Isaiah Adams comes back. He takes ball one. Adams with a single in the first inning.
Small ball situation right here. Coach James has already put the signal in of how these Golden Lions want to play this situation if he tries to lay down a bunt. I'm guessing they're going to run a wheel play right here. They may try to get the out at third, or they just may settle for the out at first base. Let's see what they do.
Called strike there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And they ran a part-time wheel. First baseman was kind of hanging in on the inside grass. Second baseman got over to first base the fastest he could, but there was no bunt play. There was no bunt attempt there.
One ball, 1 strike. Joel Barker. And that is a strike. So strike 2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Barker. Be interesting to see if Adams stays with the bunt attempts or whether he lets him swing away here. Colton Frank, Jalen Armstrong on second and first. The first 2 batters of this inning. 2 runners on. No outs yet.
All hands on deck right here for the defensive side. Outfield be ready.
Pitcher checks, steps off the mound.
You know, bunting is one of those things when you're in practice, you know, the infield gets all the work. The outfield just kind of has to stand out there. But you never know. They have a position to go to when that bunt is laid down. They've got to be able to back up the throw.
The 1-2 pitch. Slap towards the shortstop. Fields over to first. Safe. Leach's throw to James was late, or we just give credit to Adams for running that one out.
I'm going to give him a single on that. Good job by putting it in that same spot he put it in last time. You know, the shortstop right there for the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff, Dante Leach, right in position. But, you know, Adams being the leadoff guy and a speedy guy, he just wasn't able to make that throw so quick.
And we're already seeing the speed of these Southern base runners already on display here. Bases are loaded. Joel Barker in another tough spot.
Great job by Barker to get on top here. I wouldn't put it past that small ball again. You know, just, never know about these Jaguars, man. You want to put the pressure play on these Golden Lions. That's the point of putting a play in, a called play here on the Golden Lions.
Barker to the plate, called strike. Judah Wilbur. Flied out to right field, last inning, foul ball. 0-2 count here now for Joel Barker.
Just to set it up defensively, the Golden Lions are going to go corners in here. They're going to get a play at the plate on the corners. They're going to turn 2 up the middle.
The 0-2 pitch. Slapped into right field. Uh-oh. And that's over the right fielder, Hentz's head. That may bring 3 home. 1 run in, 2 runs. There's a third one coming around third. The relay is going to head over towards third base, and a bases-clearing triple by Judah Wilbur. And we talked about the Sun playing tricks on right field in the first inning, and that time it caught Braylon Hintz. As he came in on it, realized it was going over his head. Sun may have affected him. That ball went over his head, rolled all the way to the wall, clearing the bases.
The golden rule, Brian, there for an outfielder is first step back. He took his first step in, and with that Sun there, he wasn't able to recover. Ball got past him, 3 bases and 3 RBIs for the Jaguars.
Will that end up being an error on Hintz, possibly?
It didn't touch his glove.
Good point.
You know, it's always tricky to find out, what the scores are going to score. There are some plays you think that can go, either way. And, sometimes it just happens. That's the way it happens. Error or not, Coach James is going to put that in his notes tonight for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Foul ball. O'Neal Burgess. Two balls, 1 strike. Back over in pitcher. Fielded by the shortstop and over to first. But the run did end up coming home there as Leach to James. But coming in on the score was Judah Wilbur. And the score moves to 5-0.
Well, great job right there by Joel Barker to get the out. More PFPs, but he just couldn't quite get to it. Great job there by the shortstop for the Golden Lions, Dante Leach, to get to that ball. And, as it deflected off Joel Barker's glove.
Taj Porter at the plate, taking ball 1. Inside again, ball 2. Four runs right now in this second inning for Southern. Over to the second baseman, Irving. Cleanly over to first base to James. And that is just the second out of the inning.
And it's been a long inning, as you see that the team almost walked off the field there.
I was going to say that. I had to check myself for a second and be like, wait a minute, is that the end? No, I didn't think so. That was 2 outs there. Tremaine Spears comes up.
You know, you got to wonder if, Joel Barker not getting a start last week has something to do with his outing today. Last start was against Texas Southern 2 weeks ago. They didn't play last week. Prairie View only got one game in. They lost 5-2, and Joel didn't get that start, so he's not as quite as crisp as he was, before.
Arkansas Pine Bluff, their last 3 games have been postponed. That's fouled off. Obviously, they were in the middle of a series with Prairie View, and that got postponed in Game 2. So they had played the first game of that series on a Friday. Then the rest of that series got canceled, and then they lost their game on Tuesday that was scheduled against Arkansas Little Rock.
COVID has messed up a lot of schedules. COVID has also, maybe even, I don't want to say messed up the arms, but, it's also messed up the throwing schedule of the pitchers. That's pretty big when you get to college baseball. You talk about a 20-week season, man, and, you definitely want to keep these arms going.
Strike 1, swinging Spears. Two balls, 1 strike. Oh, check that. That's actually strike 3 is called on that one. Apologize for that one. So Barker gets out of the inning after 4 runners get on base and 4 runs scored. He finishes off 1, 2, 3 the last 3 of the innings. So a great inning there for Southern. 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, none left on base. Our score heading to the bottom of the second, Southern 5, Arkansas Pine Bluff 0. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
It's like a loop machine. Going around town, trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning, Nick Kreutzer, the DH for UAPB. There's a shot to center field. Center fielder is over his head, going all the way to the wall, 409 to center over Armstrong's head. Kreutzer will get to second base, and that's a great start for UAPB.
Good job right there by Kreutzer. Maybe the Golden Lions can get something going here this inning, but he just kind of took that fastball, right over the center fielder's head. Allen's been throwing a good game, and the coach has picked up. He's throwing strikes. So let's start swinging at those strikes as hitter. Kreutzer, one of the best hitters on the baseball team here, batting .333 on the season. Great job right there by him to get to second base.
Timothy Martin will come to the plate, the sophomore from Snellville, Georgia, with a runner on second. Wilhelm Allen pitching, called strike 1. And I wonder, Nick, if there was any thought for Kreutzer when he came to the plate that Allen is throwing strikes early, jump on it early and see what will happen. Maybe that was the mindset as he hit that first pitch.
And as a coach, you have to instill that in your players. You have to find out the pitcher's number 1 pitch, his number 2 pitch, and his number 3 pitch, what he's getting over the plate for strikes, and that's the pitch we have to swing at.
1-1 pitch here by Allen. Slapped over that shortstop's head. Kreutzer will advance over to third. And a single for Martin puts runners on the corners.
Shortstop Jalen Armstrong just couldn't do anything with it right there. A little bit too far over his head. But, again, Tim Martin and the Golden Lions not going away so early here, Brian. They're going to play baseball here today in Frisco, Texas.
Got a lot of work to do, making up already down 5-0.
The speedy center fielder out there, Tim Martin. I like to see some sort of first and third situation here to kind of put some pressure on the Southern defense. Maybe get something going right here because a big inning needs to come here for the Golden Lions if they want to stay in this contest.
Dante Leach, the freshman from Sacramento, California, at the plate. Ball outside. Ball 1.
Allen going with the pitch and backwards approach, trying to start him off curveball outside.
Foul ball. Allen taking his time there at the mound.
One thing I see the Southern Jaguars are doing, they're sending the second baseman to the bag for a possible throw. I think they're going to take away. I think they're going to let the hitter pull the ball and be okay with that from the left-hand side. So they must have, critiqued and looked and saw that this is a push hitter to the left-hand side.
2 balls and 1 strike for Dante Leach, the shortstop. He's got runners on the corner. No outs here for the Golden Lions. Swinging miss, strike 2. Evens the count up. Nick Kreutzer is on third. Timothy Martin on first. Allen checks over to the runner at first. Coming to the plate with the 2-2 pitch. Runner's going. And that's I don't think Taj Porter had any intent of throwing that down as he threw it to his shortstop. They must have had a signal on that one.
And that's going to be a design play. Sometimes you can either throw it to your shortstop, throw it to your second baseman. And with Kreutzer not being the fastest runner over there on third, I would have thrown the ball to that side of the field. And as you saw, when Armstrong got the ball, he looked directly at the third baseman so that he can get the ball over there just in case he was too far off that bag.
Full count for Dante Leach. Runners in scoring position, and he takes ball 4. And that'll load the bases up. So the first bit of adversity here for Wilhelm Allen.
And that's what you're going to see here in the SWAC. A lot of adversity. All our sports have a little adversity this year, with a lot of things happening here on the football field, the basketball court, now here on the baseball field. One thing I like about this pitcher, though, Wilhelm Allen, he's hanging in there. He hasn't shown anything just yet.
Karsten Vasquez takes that first pitch as it was high and inside. Vasquez, the third baseman from Alameda, California. Right down the middle, strike 1.
One thing that I'm anxious to see right here, I see the right fielder playing back kind of far. Outfield, center, and left not too far back. And with a slow runner at third base, you want to try to get that runner at the plate right about now. That would be a good opportunity. Anything pulled to the right side, to that left fielder, they're going to go home and try to get the runner at third base.
2 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded for Vasquez. Right back up the middle. That'll bring in 1, possibly 2. And Arkansas Pine Bluff gets on the scoreboard with a pair of runs, courtesy of that single by Karsten Vasquez.
Golden Lions not going home yet. Right back up the box for Karsten Vasquez. Good job right there to keep the Golden Lions in this contest. Still no outs on the board here. Runners at first and second. Now the playbook is opened up. Does Carlo James go to the bunt, or does he keep the offensive attack going here?
Casey Higgins, the left fielder, comes to the plate. Still no outs in this inning. Bottom of the second. Score is 5-2.
Allen in a stretch. And there's the shot through the 5-6 hole, and that's going to hold up a runner at third base. But the bases will be loaded, and Casey Higgins just helps the Golden Lions out big time here. Great job there by picking a pitch on the inside half and just hitting it where it's pitched, and the Golden Lions have done a good job of that so far. Bases loaded now, Brian. And again, you have to ask yourself, where does Carlos James go to? I like the strategy he's using here. He's going inside, he's going outside, giving the hitters their control, letting them have total reins and, hitting the ball where it's pitched. Great job there by the Lions. No outs.
Bases loaded situation for DeClaudio Irvin. He struck out in his first at bat in the first inning. Pass ball. Coming home to score on that one. That'll be Dante Leach. And the score is now 5-3.
Heads up play by Dante Leach. Big backstop back there here in Frisco, Texas at Dr. Pepper Ballpark. One of the things that I like about Dante Leach, you saw over there on third base, he was grabbing a secondary lead. For all you kids out there watching this contest tonight, listen to your coaches about that secondary lead at third base. You can get that extra edge so that you can get home on a pass ball.
Counts moved to 2 balls and no strikes for Irvin, who now has the tying run over on second base.
And still no outs. Golden Lions are right back into this contest.
Into center field, Armstrong tags up, coming home, and they've got a pickoff there at third base. So we've got a run scored and we've got a pickoff. Beautiful play by the second baseman, Bubba Thompson, over to Xavier Moore to pick off the runner, but the run did score.
Great job there by the Golden Lions to get the RBI. DeClaudio Irvin was able to get the first pitch he saw into the outfield, just wanted to get a run home. But as you saw on the defensive side, hit your cutoff man, and they were able to run. That was the first baseman for the cutoff man who got the ball over there to the third baseman, and he got the runner out. Now it's 1 out. Now it's 2 out. That was a double play there for the Jaguars.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bases. Yeah. That's right. I'm so used to, unfortunately, we don't have our scoreboard operating, so we're doing a little we're doing our scores on our own sheets, and we're trying to make sure that we call what we see here. Braylon Hintz is at the plate. Fouled off.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have probably sent my runner there at second base there. That was Casey Higgins. I would have probably tried to maybe go halfway, try to, make the center fielder, see his arm a little bit.
Way outside on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Nevertheless, the Golden Lions are back in this contest, Brian, and, I'm just liking the way they perform in this inning.
Counts 5-4. Barely got probably a millimeter of the inch of that bat on that one to foul that one off. Southern with a 5-4 lead right now.
Yeah, and with the full count here, I got to think that Braylon Hens is looking fastball.
That one's low.
There's the one.
Called strike. Caught him looking right there, and so that's how this inning will end for Southern. But a great inning. Way to get back in this ball game by Arkansas Pine Bluff with 4 runs on 2 hits. No runners left on base. We head to the 3rd inning with our score of 5-4. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up.
Coming to the top of the 3rd inning, Southern with a 5-4 lead now over Arkansas Pine Bluff. Xavier Moore, the 3rd baseman, at the plate. Watches strike 1. Joel Barker still on the mound for Arkansas Pine Bluff, moving into his 3rd inning. One ball, one strike. Called strike on the outside part of the plate there. Moore walked his last at-bat, which was in the 1st inning. He missed out on all the fun that took place in the 2nd for Southern. Slaps it right up the middle and off the hill and into center field. That one goes. So Moore with a single.
So the third leadoff batter for the Southern Jaguars gets on base today, and it just causes disruptions for the Golden Lions. Right back up the middle, great job there by Xavier Moore to get the ball right back up the box. And with the runner at first base, we know that Coach Chris Crenshaw likes to go with that small ball. Let's see what he does right here. I like to see some more of it.
Bubba Thompson, the 2nd baseman at the plate, thought about taking that, but he pulled out of it, so it looks like it'll be ball 1 there.
Yeah, and as you saw the first baseman crashing in on that play, it looks as though they're going to try to get the out at first base. But the second baseman has got to do a better job of getting over to the bag. He's probably going to have to cheat a little bit more over to the first base bag if he's going to get that bunt down.
Into right field, Irvin settles under that one. 4 and out.
So Chris Crenshaw went away from the small ball. He gambled, tried to, put the ball in play out there. Claudio Irvin, I guess he tried. And that's the thing that's the thing, Brian. In baseball, you have to make the adjustments. That last fly ball got past Irvin. There again, he had to make the adjustment to put that glove inside in the sun to get the out right there. Great job there, Irvin.
I'll make the correction on that. That's a shot right up to the shortstop. And there's a 1-2 that was Hinton right field who made that.
Excuse me, yes.
And then Arkansas gets the nice 6-3 double play, and just like that, 1-2-3, UAPB is out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Going to the bottom of the third inning, and Southern has a new pitcher on the mound, number 18, Jacob Snyder.
Yeah, Brian, Jacob Snyder is going to come into this contest early for Wilhelm Allen. Allen got into some trouble right there in the last inning. Don't want to waste too many pitches for a guy. We're still early on in the season. But Jacob Snyder here, 5.84 ERA. He's had 6 appearances and 12.1 innings pitched. This is maybe what they call the mop-up guy, come in, long relief, come in and get some innings. And especially from the left-hand side, it shows the Golden Lions a little something different here. Wilhelm is a right-hander who went 2 innings. Now you bring up the lefty to kind of throw off the rhythm. And let's see what it plays into right here. Chris Crenshaw's made some good calls so far. Hey, let's see if this one will go for it.
Edwin Dela Cruz, the catcher, comes to the mound. Struck out in his first plate appearance. Of course, that was against Allen. And fouled off. So you'd think be a little bit of an advantage here for Dela Cruz after facing a right-handed pitcher in the first inning. Now he gets a lefty. And there's a shot towards the shortstop. Oh, he bobbles it a little bit. I think that's going to be picked up and safe.
Great job right there by Edwin Dela Cruz to keep running that ball out. One thing that you do when you put the ball on the ground or in the air, you should always run it out. You never know who's watching in the stands. Somebody may be clocking you, but for the sake of your team, get on base. Great job right there by Dela Cruz.
Judah Wilbur never cleanly fielded it. kicked it, bobbled it a little bit, and it was late getting there to first base. Connor James comes to the plate now, first baseman. Down the right field line. Bag one. Let's see if they get the tag, and that's a double play on the first pitch. A nice, easy 3-6 double play.
Great job right there, and that's called a textbook 3-6 tag. We practice that in practice every day. The ground ball right there to the first baseman, you step on the bag, and then you throw it down to the shortstop, and you yell, tag! There he is. Let's get the out. Double play. Go Jaguars.
Now let me go back a batter. Would you credit an error there on Wilbur on that hit?
I'm definitely gonna give him a error right there. You know, he had it in his glove, and he bobbled it, and he tried to, had he got the out, it wouldn't have been the error, right? He did regather and try to get the throw across, but it just didn't get the out, and that bobble messed it up, and that's an error right there for the shortstop. They call that E6.
Unfortunately, his teammate made up for it, and at the plate now, Nick Kreutzer. Kreutzer got the last inning going, which happened to be a 4-run second inning for UAPB. And right now he's sitting at 2 balls, no strikes.
And one thing you see right here is the second baseman playing maybe about 4 steps behind the edge of the grass. This is that new lefty shift that everybody is using. You talk about analytics in baseball. This is the matrix system, and let's see if it can get used right here properly.
Swinging strike. Counts even now at 2-2.
We saw Kreutzer go straight to center field last time, so he does have some pull in him. That second baseman camped out there in short right field. That's Bubba Thompson. Let's see if he hits it to him.
The 2-2. Fouled. When you look at this UAPB lineup, now that we've seen it one time through, Kreutzer, I believe, is the lone senior, the oldest the oldest player in terms of eligibility years in this lineup that we've seen.
And he looks like the tallest player, too.
From out of Westminster, Colorado.
The
2-2. No, sir.
Little early there, and as you see, Taj Porter went down to the one knee there. That's a new technique that these, catcher coaches are trying to teach their kids here on the baseball field. You want to be able to try to paint that strike zone, and that's what he's doing right there, going down that one knee.
Full count. Swinging strike that time they got him, and Southern gets out of that inning there without giving up a run. No hits, 1 error, none left on base. We go to the 4th inning. Our score, Southern 5, UAPB 4. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique to spice up your closet with trendy, unique looks. We have fashionable and chic looks at very affordable prices. Velvet Boutique offers free shipping all year long on all orders. Shop online at www.melvetboutique.com. That's www.melvetboutique.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique.
to the top of the 4th inning. Joel Barker still on the mound for UAPB. And coming to the plate for Southern, the center fielder, Jalen Armstrong. Armstrong swinging away on first pitch. Armstrong had the single and then was a part of that bases loaded or bases clearing triple by Judah Wilbur. So Armstrong, Adams, and Wilbur due up in this inning for Southern.
Yeah, I saw some action down there in the bullpen for the Golden Lions earlier, but no action here. So, Coach James likes the way Joel Barker's pitching right now. He's going to ride him out as long as he can in this one-run ball game.
1-1. Inside, ball 2.
Both teams getting a double play right there in that last inning, huh? Top and bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
And that one's high, so 3 balls, 1 strike here. Jalen Armstrong showing a little patience after that strong rip on that first pitch.
Yeah, and that's what Coach is going to do. Take some pitches here early on. It's still early. Joel Barker, his pitch counter's getting up. Make him make a mistake.
Called strike, and so now it'll be a full count here. Full count for Barker. And that one's, called strike. Got him looking. Painted the inside part of the plate on that one.
And, that was a really close call. Even the catcher was ready to throw it back to the pitcher. And, he just got it right down at the third base so that they can throw that ball around. But, Joel Barker not hitting his spots right here, but he did hit a spot. Catcher was kind of set up outside. Joel Barker said, no, I'll come inside, and hopefully that umpire gives me the strike zone. And he did. Great job there by the Golden Lions and Joel Barker to get that first out. That was the first time that they got the first out here for the Southern offense.
3rd strikeout of the game for Barker, and Isaiah Adams takes ball 1. Adams so far 2 for 2 in the contest with a single and a run scored in both innings. Slapped foul.
What a scene here at Dr. Pepper Ballpark, Brian, in the Dallas Metroplex area. A lot of baseball played up here in this area. Great place to try to, bring the HBCU brand, the swag brand, and show the Dallas Metroplex what they have to offer.
Ball 2. Tomorrow.
What would have happened if Torrey Hunter played in the SWAC, man?
Ooh.
What if he had went to Arkansas Pine Bluff,
I got to imagine.
Right there, backyard.
Yeah. Took that one. So now we got a 3-1 count. The 20th overall pick of the Major League Baseball draft was Hunter out of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Fouled. Full count now for Adams.
And as you saw, he was ready to swing near and load on 3-1. He liked that pitch right up in the zone. Adams with that speed at top of the order.
3-2 pitch. Called strike. And 2 strikes. 2 strikeouts in this inning for Barker.
I'm starting to think that Joel and Joel and Edwin De La Cruz are setting it up. That's twice that Joel didn't hit the target, but he still caught the corner of the plate. Great job there, just to come in and throw strikes.
Judah Wilbur comes to the plate after that bases clearing triple in the last inning. Ball 1. I always love to see when a pitcher can actually start to settle in as the inning goes. And seems like Barker is having his best inning so far. Slapped into left field. Nice clean single there for Wilbur. And that breaks up what Barker had rolling.
You know, sometimes a nice sticks just, beats a good pitch sometime, and Judah Wilbur so far on the day, 2 for 3, a single and a triple. He's just putting up an offensive clinic out there for the Southern Jags.
O'Neal Burgess, the DH, comes to the plate here with a runner on first. That'll be a fly ball settling underneath that. It's the left fielder, Casey Higgins. And just like that, UAPB gets out of the inning without giving up a run, although they did give up 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base for Southern. And we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Jaguars leading 5-4. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
I'm attorney Clinton Paris, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being hurt.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show. Coming to the bottom of the 4th inning now, Timothy Martin for UAPB. Only 1 plate appearance so far in this inning, as he had a single, stolen base, and scored a run in that 2nd inning. Ooh, and gets hit by the first pitch by Snyder. That one got away from him, so Martin will take his place.
And one thing I like about Martin out there, he didn't rub it. The golden rule is when you get hit, you don't touch it. You run down that base path as quick as you can. And, a speedy center fielder in Tim Martin, he's dangerous there on the base paths. Let's see if Coach James wants to play a little small ball here, maybe try to tie this game up and push 1 run across the center.
Dante Leach at the plate. The pitch by Snyder, ball 1. Check that. That was a strike. Strike 1. Gets by the catcher. More likely that'll be a wild pitch, as that was way outside.
Now, great job right there by Martin to get himself into scoring territory. And, now now you're 1 swing away from tying this contest up. Dante Leach is. He got a walk last time and he scored a run. Batting .273 on the season. Maybe this might be, he may have to pick a pitch on the outside half with that lefty coming in with that sweeping off speed pitch. He may want to try to take something into right field, right center field, and score that run from second. And he tried a little small ball right there as he was looking bunt, trying to get that run over to third base, for the on-deck batter, Carson Vasquez.
2-1 count here. Jacob Snyder on the mound for Southern.
I'm feeling this DJ over here.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where I don't know if I'm assuming he's in the park or maybe he's outside the park. Not sure.
This is HBCU sports.
If you're watching this broadcast, I want to encourage you folks. Tomorrow we have an afternoon, 4 p.m. first pitch. Come out to the ballpark. Beautiful sight lines, a beautiful area. Fouled off. A great opportunity, especially all you Jaguars and Golden Lions in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You need to make it out here for this. How about just HBCU fans, alums, grads? Bring the family out. Looks like we'll have a full count here. Dante Leach has done a great job of showing some patience here.
Yeah, Snyder trying to grab that outside half over there, trying to sneak it in past him. And that's what I'm saying. If you're the batter right now, you want to think about that outside half with that sweep and breaking pitch.
And low and away, ball 4. So 2 runners on base now for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Looking to grab the lead for the first time as the go-ahead run now sits on first base.
And nobody in the bullpen there for the Southern Jaguars, so Coach Crenshaw was going to stick with Snyder right here. Coach James, no outs, has a lot of options here with runners in first and second. He's in a good position here to maybe try to tie this ball game up and even take the lead.
Karsten Vasquez, bunt, perfectly laid down. First base as Porter gets that one over to the first baseman. So Vasquez with the sacrifice.
Yeah, great job right there by Coach James to go for the sacrifice, but even better job there by Karsten Vasquez. When he put the bunt on that ball, he put some detonate. They call it some detonate there. As it got into the grass, the ball just died. So that, so you can kind of, put it as quick as you can. But nevertheless, he didn't beat it out, but he did get the runners over. He did his job. Great job there, Golden Lions.
And I got to believe he caught him a little off by surprise because, the corners, the third baseman, never moved in, walked in a little bit. And actually the catcher was able to get to that ball, but I think they caught him a little bit by surprise there. So, yeah, definitely credit to Vasquez on that one.
Woo!
There's a shot. And Timothy Martin did a great job of getting out the way of that one. That one came screaming right by him.
Timothy Martin, Coach James, a third base umpire, and a third baseman. I mean, they're all right there, and in no man's land. And
that ball went right between the three of them. If you can see it, it's there's a nice little triangle there, and it just ripped right by him.
I think he did.
Oh, called a strike on that one.
Umpire called that one,
and that will be a strikeout as Higgins strikes out. So that's the second out of the inning for Southern. And back to the top of the order we go for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Claudio Irvin comes to the plate.
Yeah, great job right there by Snyder to get the out inside the jam. Now he's 2 away, and you play for the you play for the one here. You just play for the one. Put your defense back, and you put them in good position.
Outside on that first pitch. Irvin 0 for 2 so far. And you can see Snyder really wanting to keep that ball away on the outside part of the plate. It's now 2-0.
And Coach James is going to talk to his second baseman right here, to Claudio Irvin. Just kind of want to tell him, you got to, there's 2 runners on base right here. Big ball game. You know, you do have first base open. Be patient, but be selective at the same time. You know, find something that you can drive. You know, you definitely want to get one run. If you can grab two, that's great. But you definitely just want to put the ball in play and, you know, make sure the Jaguars make a play on it.
And I would imagine that Snyder and Porter are kind of communicating, not want to give anything good to Irvin. Keep it as far away from him. Make him chase it if you can. It's now a 3-0 count. I think with 2 outs, they seem to be content to sort of sacrifice that first base and make the bases loaded for Braylon Hintz, who's on deck.
Yeah, 3-0 automatic take right here. You know, it was 2-0 before he took the timeout, Coach James did. You know, kind of trying to tell him, you know, 2-0 is not a really good time to swing right now. We're in the, you know, top of the order. Let's try to get some base runners right here.
And just as we sort of predicted, Irvin walks. He's over at first. And so now Braylon Hintz, the right fielder, he's had an adventurous day today. Doesn't have to deal with any more shadows or the sun when he's out in the field. He struck out in his last at-bat to end the second inning. Now he comes to the plate with the bases loaded. 2 outs. Southern leading 5-4. Ball 1.
And Hintz right here is an opportunity to tie this ball game and actually break it open and maybe take the lead for the Golden Lions if, you know, they can keep it in play. Right here, Carlos James is, you know, going to try to tell his hitters he's putting them in a good position, and I'd like to see to try to hit something right back up the box here. You know, 2 walks in a row here for the Southern Jaguars. You know, not necessarily – you don't necessarily have to swing. You know, balls follow balls in this sport.
Had about 6 straight pitches that have been balls.
And there's the first. He heard us.
Make him throw a strike. Make him throw a strike. Make him throw a strike. Braylon Hintz, a redshirt sophomore, also from Pine Bluff. 2-1. I'd almost have the same philosophy here. Make him throw you a strike.
That could be trouble.
Down the line, right field, lost it a little bit. It's going to be foul. As that one teased the line out that way in right field. So now we've got a 2-2 count with 2 outs, and the bases are loaded.
2-strike approach right here. Protect with 2. Deuces are wild here, 2-2-2. You'll see the players maybe hitting their hats with their 2 index fingers and their middle fingers. That's the code, 2-2-2. Deuces are wild.
Snyder to the mound. Slap down to third base and cleanly scooping that up and running it over and stepping on third base is Xavier Moore for the ground out. And so that inning comes to an end. Southern avoids giving up a run as Pine Bluff with 0 runs on 0 hits. 3 runners left on base, no errors, and we head to the 5th inning. Southern still leading 5-4. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
Sugar Chateau Desserts is a specialty bakery located in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. We will create delicious and one-of-a-kind treats for any occasion. Sugar Chateau is currently shipping cakes in a jar, offering a variety of different flavors in a single-serve container that can help you celebrate in accordance with social distancing. Place your orders today by calling 803-526-7895 or visiting sugarchateaudesserts.com.
Now, you can't live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dusted.
Leading off the top of the fifth inning for Southern, the catcher, Taj Porter, 0 for 1 so far today. And still on the mound for Arkansas Pine Bluff, Joel Barker. Going into the fifth here. Really, outside of that second inning, there's a shot. I feel like I spoke too soon there. Seems to always catch you when you do that. A beautiful shot on the first pitch by Porter, right back up to center field. As I was going to say, Nick, Barker, other than that inning in the second, he's really done a pretty good job.
Yep.
In the 2 innings since.
Joel Barker, not going to woo you with this fastball, but definitely going to hit his spots. Nice off-speed stuff. Good change up there. And he's kind of playing cat and mouse with these Southern hitters. But he's throwing too many strikes and leaving it over the zone for these Jaguar hitters, and that's why they were able to put it in the outfield right there.
Called strike 1 there on Tremaine Spears, the right fielder. Spears 0 for 2 today. And taking off there was Porter. Couldn't quite see if that's a wild pitch or probably going to be.
It's definitely going to be a wild pitch.
Yeah.
It's going to go into the book as a wild pitch. And, again, even better job there by Taj Porter. You heard me talk earlier about getting a secondary lead. That's one of the things my coach used to teach us. When you get that wild pitch, that's a pitch you want to take. You want to take a ball in dirt, and you want to advance to the next bag on that. Great job there by Porter.
1-1. Ripped down the left field line. It's fair. Beautiful shot there by Spears. Porter coming around home. And the double there by Tremaine Spears brings Porter home and pushes the score to 6-4.
Golden Lions have some double barrel action out there in that bullpen. You got to wonder if Coach James is going to go get his Friday night starter. The Golden Lions have given up 1 run this inning, and Joel Barker, he's got a high pitch count right now. So you see this Carlos James, he's even playing his outfield to the right side. He's playing his, guys to pull out there, bringing it to the left side of the baseball field. But he's going to stick with Joel Barker at this AB.
Xavier Moore, the third baseman, at the plate. To the shortstop, scooped up by Leach. Got him. Beautiful throw there by Dante Leach. Maybe even a better catch there by Connor James.
Yeah, and I think he's asking, can they review that? Well, we don't have review here, but, in college baseball there are some programs and some conferences who use the replay flag. But great job there by, head coach Chris Crenshaw. He wanted the umpires to kind of get together and see if they can kind of come up with the outcome, but it looks as though the home plate umpire didn't get a good grab on that. If the first baseman would have come off the bag, the home plate umpire was in a great position to, let the other umpire know he may have came off the bag. So they're going to keep it the same. Chris Crenshaw tried to gamble right there, stand up for his guys. Try to come up for his guys. Make sure that the play was, make sure that he was safe, but he was out.
Bubba Thompson comes to the plate now with a runner on third for Southern, leading 6-4. In the right center field, Hintz going back, over Hintz's head. Run scores, and another double for Southern as Hintz unable to track that one down. Bubba Thompson brings home Tremaine Spears. Second run and third hit of this inning for Southern.
And with DeClaudio Irvin, out there in right field with Braylon Hintz playing in there on that batter, the ball was just hit right over his head, but even better job to get the ball back in play into the infield to try to stop him and only from getting a double right there.
Colton Frank at the plate, hit into a double play. His last at bat, he gets hit by that pitch.
And I think that's going to cause Carlo James to go out and talk to his Friday night starter there. So he's going to ask that the catcher go talk to him first, give his bullpen some extra time to get some extra warm-up tosses. He's going to have to get somebody in really quick right now. Joel Barker is into a jam right here, Brian. And with this, with the Golden Lions, they were coming into this inning trailing 1 run. The Jaguars have already scored a couple here, and it's not looking good there for the Golden Lions right now. 7-4, they're losing. Coach James has got to get somebody else in this contest quick.
Jalen Armstrong preparing to come to the plate. Runners on second and first. Joel Barker. Nope, we've got Coach James. He's coming out to the mound. This might actually be it before we even get started with Armstrong's plate appearance. This might be it for James.
And as you saw, Coach James, went out at the last second that he could to try to get his arm some extra warm-up tosses. He's got a lefty down there, but he also had a righty throwing too. So you got to understand, he's going to play the percentages right here. I'm not sure who he's going to. He has double barrel action down there. He's still waiting. I don't think has he made the official substitution?
No.
Yes, he has. He's going down now out there. And, that's a long bullpen walk in. He's got to go behind. He's going down there by the foul pole. He has to walk down the stairs, and he's going out by the foul pole. He's trying to get out the gate right now,
trying to figure out how to get to the field.
Yeah.
He might just jump the fence, at some point.
He may need a cart. Is there a golf cart to kind of bring him out to the mound here? Or does he have to jump the fence? Well, there he is.
All right.
I think the grounds crew had to go get the key from upstairs. They had to unlock it, and get him out here on this baseball field.
So we are going to have a relief pitcher, and that's going to bring Joel Barker's night to an end. And he passes the ball off to his teammate.
Looks like it's going to be number 16. Is that Rocky King?
It is number 16, Rocky King.
The freshman from Buckeye, Arizona. You mentioned it earlier, Brian. You talked about Joel Barker was going strong after that second inning. He got into the third and he got into the fourth and no runs. And, Coach James had trust in him, left him into the fifth inning. And, the leadoff man gets on base again. And you know what happens when the leadoff man gets on base? It's trouble for your ball club. Trouble for your ball club, a single, a double. He got the ground ball, another single. And, right there, that's, it's just about done for Joel Barker.
Well, yeah, definitely. He had a good thing going there. Obviously, he had the very rocky second inning, and then he settled down, only really giving up 2 hits in the third and fourth inning. Did not give up any runs. And so some great defensive plays by his teammates there. But then Barker, as you mentioned, had that struggle. He is responsible, with the runners on first and second. And so as Rocky King finishes his warm-up throws, King, the freshman, as you mentioned, from Buckeye, Arizona, Verrado High School.
He played baseball year-round in Arizona, man. Year-round. December 31st and March 31st.
You can do that in beautiful climates like Arizona and even Florida probably.
I had a teammate from Arizona when I played at Texas Southern. He said all the games out there had to start after 6 o'clock, man.
That hot?
Yeah. Had to wait till that sun goes down, and then you may get a dust storm in there somewhere, a sandstorm,
All right, King looks ready. And Jalen Armstrong is ready. Steps into the box with runners on first and second. 1 out in the inning. And that ball skips to the backstop. Bad first pitch there.
And if you're Coach James, you can't be happy with your left-handed specialist coming in, and on the first pitch you throw a wild pitch, and it lets the runners advance from first and second to second and third. You know, one out here, luckily, but the double play is out of order, so he's going to bring his infield in on the grass. Middle is playing back just a little bit as they take their prep step onto the edge of the grass.
Called strike there. Evens the count up at 1.
They're definitely going to try to stop the play at home right now. You definitely don't want to give up any more runs than you already have, especially with a 7-4, especially when you're trailing 7-4.
Strike 2. And Armstrong looking on that one, and so now he's in a hole, 1-2. Nice recovery here by Rocky King after a rocky first pitch. Slapped over the shortstop head. That's going to bring in 2. Rounding first, sliding into second base and safe. Jalen Armstrong showing some speed there. The 2-run double for the center fielder pushes the score to 9-4.
Bubba Thompson and Colton Frank come around and score on that double. The ball really wasn't hit too far into the gap, but what you saw there was Jalen Armstrong thinking 2 out the box, and that's something that's taught at practice. Great job there by Chris Crenshaw and his coaching staff for Jalen Armstrong to be thinking on that play. He got the double and got his team a 2-run lead.
Those runs credited to Joel Barker, who now we can officially close the book on, giving up 9 runs and the throwback to second base. And so at the end of the day, we'll look back on Barker's day and say he had 2 bad innings, and that kind of cost him, and remains to be seen what the end result of this one be. But 9-4 lead for Southern right now. Again, that time, nice pickoff. Whoa, wait a minute. Yes, he is out. Beautiful play. Nice pickoff there by Rocky King.
Great job there by Rocky King to go with the double. You know, they tried the pitch before, and you come right back at him again, and you just let the Jaguars make a mistake. You saw Jalen Armstrong trying to jive back into the bag, and he just couldn't get there.
Now King, nice fielding there. No, wait a minute. No, they say he's out, as King actually had to recover there, run to his left, pick up the ball, and then spin back around to get that one over to first base. So that goes out as a 1-3, and that's how the inning ends. But a nice inning there for Southern. 4 runs scored on 4 hits, no errors and none left on base. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning with our score, Southern 9, Arkansas Pine Bluff 4. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
Now, you can't live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. Going around town, trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the...
Bottom of the 5th inning now for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Edwin De La Cruz comes to the plate. Jacob Snyder pitching into his 3rd inning now for Southern. the lefty.
And one thing right now about the Jaguars, keep doing what you're doing. Whatever it is, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
De La Cruz looking at that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Snyder still working that outside corner there from the left-hand side.
De La Cruz steps out for a moment. Snyder to the plate. And to the shortstop, Wilbur. Settles in, throws that over to Frank. And a nice clean 6-3. 1 out for Southern.
You know, I like Judah Wilbur over there at shortstop. He's made some great plays today, 1 double play in there as well. You know, the way he took the angle at that ball right there was just awesome. You know, just kind of saw the ball off the bat, knew he wanted to come attack it, one hand, take it across the first base, 6-3 if you're scoring at home. Great job there by Wilbur.
Connor James at the plate. Slapped right up to the middle. Nice scoop by the second baseman over to first base. Bubba Thompson to Colton Frank. And some beautiful glove work happening right now by Southern on the infield.
And with that being said, that's where you want your strongest glove work to be, right up the middle. Your center fielder, your second baseman, and your shortstop should be 3 of your best gloves there on the team. And Judah Wilbur and the second baseman, Bubba Thompson, have shown that today. A couple of plays from Judah and a couple of plays from Bubba Thompson. Great job there by the Southern Jaguar defense.
Nick Kreutzer comes to the plate. Nick 1 for 2, struck out in his last at-bat. Nice cut. Strike 1. Foul ball over towards the Southern dugout.
Crew to the big lefty. Got the double early on in the game. He's got to make sure that he puts the ball in play for the Golden Lions.
Down and away, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Southern looking to get out of this one cleanly. 1, 2, 3.
You know, I like Snyder, man. He's just been kind of getting out of jams and just stay poised in this contest so far.
Ball away. Evens the count at 2-2 with 2 outs.
You know, and that's what we talked about. Going from Allen to Snyder, the righty-lefty, you know, it kind of threw Pine Bluff off with a little momentum there.
The 2-2. Looking, caught him. Strike 3 and retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for Southern. As Arkansas Pine Bluff, no runs, no hits, no runners left on base. We go to the 6th inning. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted.
Going into the top of the 6th inning, Southern with a 9-4 lead. Southern's had 2 4-run innings here in this contest.
Rocky King came in last inning, got the Golden Lions out of a jam. A wild pitch on his first pitch, but since then, he's been kind of rolling. Coach James going to stick with him.
A little tight inside there. Ball 1, so 1-1 for Judah Wilbur, the shortstop. Wilbur's 2 for 3 so far with a single, triple, and 3 RBIs. The 1-1. Shot into center field. Martin on his horse and comes up with that one.
Great job there by King to get a leadoff batter out there. The Jaguars have got the leadoff batter on 4 times today. That's only the 2nd time the leadoff batter has gotten out.
O'Neal Burgess, the DH, comes to the plate.
And Burgess was just 2 out in front on that. Great off-speed pitch there by Rocky King.
Just a little early on that one.
Rocky King has showed off his off-speed, and, he's kind of been effective inside and outside the zone today.
That one into right
That's
field.
Trouble.
Well, for the kind of day that Braylon Hintz has had in right field, that was very accurate. He has had an adventure today.
Well, I saw Tim Martin out there in center field, and he kind of waved to it. He didn't see where it was. He kind of thought it was kind of hit at him, but Braylon Hintz was right there. Great job, because you just want to get to the ball as an outfielder. Having two defensemen out there, having 2 outfielders close to the ball is better than just having 1. So in case something happens, the ball falls out, he's right there. Good job there. Good communication there by Braylon Hintz to go get that ball.
Taj Porter comes to the plate. And, Arkansas Pine Bluff has not retired 3 up and 3 down yet. So this is a good opportunity here if they can get Porter out. Foul ball coming
I think I got it.
Just a bit to the left.
I'm about 3 feet too short, man.
From our vantage point, I wondered if we'd get an opportunity like that.
Yeah, I would love to. We've seen a couple of them,
1-1 towards the shortstop. Scooped up by Leach over to first. Nice catch by Connor James, and there's a 1-2-3 inning for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Southern, 0 runs, 0 hits. No errors, none left on base. We move into the bottom of the 6th inning. Southern leading 9-4. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in 1 cup with Earth Blend Coffee.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Coming up on the bottom of the 6th inning, leading off for Arkansas Pine Bluff, Timothy Martin. Jacob Snyder on the mound for Southern. Came in the 3rd inning in relief of Willem Allen. And Snyder has done a great job of retiring Pine Bluff.
Yes, Snyder's been coming in and working into his 4th inning right here, Brian. You know, he's been using that fastball, and he's been using it off speed over there on the outside corner. Golden Lions can't do anything with it. Kind of has a 7/8 kind of arm slot, not necessarily right over the top, you know, but kind of coming there a little bit over the side. I call it a 7/8 on that one. Maybe not a 3/4, but more of a 7/8. There's a 3/4, so he dropped down a little bit lower right there. And you kind of want that, you know, because that throws off the batter. You know, different angles, you know, that you can see on the mound, you know, different angles that you see on the mound, it doesn't really help you as a hitter, you know, because you're picking up timing, you know, throwing off your timing right there, and that's what Snyder's doing a good job of.
3-0 pitch. There's a strike for Snyder. Martin definitely will show probably a little more patience here on this 3-1 pitch. Swinging away at that one.
You know, some coaches don't really mind you swinging 3-1. You know, there are some coaches that really don't mind you swinging 3-0. I mean, I don't think Albert Pujols has the automatic red light, you know, 3-0 red light. But, you know, sometimes a coach doesn't mind if he thinks it's your pitch. And there's the high ball forward. But if that coach thinks that you get the green light and it's your pitch, you just better make sure it's in fair territory. I mean, you can't be swinging and missing a pitch on 3-0 and popping it up. You know, that just doesn't work in baseball.
See, what's interesting about that is I've always found it interesting that in baseball where you have certain rules, like, you know, the 3-0 you usually take.
Right.
But but there's also analytics used in baseball, right? Dante Leach comes to the plate right now. Slaps it into right field just past the second baseman. And on the move is Martin over to third. And nice single there by Dante Leach.
Dante Leach flashing the leather, then coming up into the inning and using the stick, going right side, advancing a runner from first to third. The Golden Lions, again, they started off in this 2nd inning with no outs with runners on. Let's see if Coach James can go right back to the same thing, keep some pressure on these Southern Jaguars, and make them put the ball in play. Great job there by shortstop Dante Leach.
Some nice base running there by Timothy Martin as well, recognizing where that ball was hit, and he never slowed off as he rounded second.
Well, one thing that you're taught to do is when you're at first, second, and third, when you take your lead, look and see where your outfielders are at. Look and see where your defense is at. That way, if the ball gets out there in the outfield, I mean, you know, if the right fielder's playing far back, then you can easily take that back.
Karsten Vasquez, third baseman, is at the plate. Ooh, called strike on that one.
Coach James not necessarily going to the steal right here. He doesn't have to just yet. First and third situation, he does have some options, though.
Tim Martin on third, Leach on first.
There's the runner.
Throw is high, and into second with that stolen base is Leach.
I'm surprised Timothy Martin didn't try to make a play towards the plate right there. I mean, it was a high throw, but, you know, he wasn't thinking, you know, maybe it was just a straight steal. It wasn't something, you know, meant for the third base runner to kind of score, you know, but putting himself into scoring territory, runners at second and third, the Golden Lions have the chance to cut this deficit down by 2 runs.
And is that something that is practiced, or is that just a technique that you hope your base runner has?
And that's what I'm saying. It may have been a called play, just a straight steal instead of a, you're gonna send the runner at first, and then you're gonna go automatically on a throw. Maybe it was just, we just a straight steal right here to put yourself in a scoring position.
So 2 runners in scoring position for Vasquez.
One thing I learned as a coach, Brian, and every coach has their own philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Every coach has his own philosophy. There's a coach different out there than the next person. You make these calls, you make these decisions, and if they work, if they work, you're grand champion. If they don't, you're fired the next day. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just crazy the way out here you make these decisions, and they happen.
There's a shot in the left center. 2 runs will come in on that shot by Vasquez, and he'll round first, heading into second base, standing up. So a 2-run double there by Karsten Vasquez cuts the deficit to 9-6.
Yeah, and that's what you do when you're Karsten Vasquez and you're the Golden Lions. Great job there by Carlos James to put his runner at first into scoring position. You put the ball into the outfield, and good things happen. 2 runs there batted in by the third baseman, Karsten Vasquez, and it cuts the lead down for the Golden Lions. They only trail now 9-6. And watch this, Brian. There's still no outs here for the Golden Lions.
Still no outs. Casey Higgins, the left fielder, comes to the plate with a runner on second.
I'm guessing Coach Crenshaw for the Southern Jaguars guessing bunt right here. I see the first baseman and the third baseman. Now they bag up just a little bit. They were in on the grass, heavily in on the grass, and with Casey Higgins not showing bunt right there, now they're kind of prep stepping on the edge of the grass here. Here's the bunt right there. Both coaches going to the small ball attack here in this contest, and it's working. One thing that you got to learn and you got to understand about small ball, it's putting pressure situations on your defensive side of the baseball. Third baseman has got to make a play. The first baseman has got to get in and make a play, and you give the chance a pitcher to make a play as well. Maybe he throws it away, maybe you don't, but at least you get that runner over from second to third right now.
0-2 count, Higgins. The pitch by Snyder. Slap towards the shortstop. Wilbur over to first. He is out on that.
Yeah, he was definitely out. Great job over there by Wilbur to get that ball across, for the speedy left fielder, Casey Huggins. But even better job by the second base runner right there, Karsten Vasquez. He saw the ball was hit in front of him. That's something that's practiced. When the ball is hit in front of you as your runner on second base, you don't go. Mm-hmm. Only when you get a good secondary lead and it's hit behind you. That way the shortstop has to make a longer throw over to third base.
And that's just the first out of the inning. So that too shouldn't be lost on anyone. DeClaudio Irvin back to the top of the lineup for UAPB. 0 for 2 in his 3 plate appearance. He walked his last at-bat.
And there's that outside breaking pitch that Snyder's been throwing really good for strikes tonight. And that's one of his out pitches as well. He's been going to that pitch with 2 strikes. I'm really surprised to see he went to it early. He may give it right back to him if he can get a strike right here with the fastball.
1-1.
And he goes off speed on me. Good job there, keeping the batter off. But, I was taught by my Little League coach. He said off balance. We didn't understand what that meant when we were 9 and 10 years old. Keeping the batter off balance is really a strategy that you must use. You go inside hard, outside soft, upstairs high, downstairs soft in the dirt. There are some things, there's some strategies. There is some strategy to pitching out there,
Sure.
A good pitcher knows how to pitch. Mm-hmm. There are some guys who just throwers. They just flamethrowers throwing the ball 93, 94 across the plate and, hoping they can get the runner out, hoping you can get the batter out. But when you put strategy into pitching, pitch sequence, pitching inside, pitching outside, there is some art, and they like to call it the Rembrandt, I believe. Is that what it's called? Being a Rembrandt. Greg Maddux used to paint those corners, man, at 38 miles per hour, right?
Yeah, he was one of the best. That one's low, and 2 balls, 2 strikes. And it's interesting to think about becoming a good pitcher versus a thrower in the college years. The sooner you can become that good pitcher, the more opportunities you're more likely to have on the next level. Scooped up by the shortstop, Judah Wilbur, over to Colton Frank. And so now we have 2 outs. And once again, Southern's defense starting to show up here. And after giving up 2 runs early, have an opportunity to cut off Arkansas Pine Bluff's comeback.
If Coach Chris Crenshaw doesn't mind, I like to steal Judah Wilbur for a weekend to send them back home, bring them back home and give the little kids a defensive camp out there. He's putting on a defensive baseball camp out there at shortstop, showing the leather, flashing it on both sides of the base, flashing it on the defensive side of the ball and making sure his bat stands out on the offensive side of the baseball. Great job out there tonight by Judah Wilbur, maybe my player of the game.
Way outside on that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike now. 2 outs here.
Really good ball game right here tonight, guys. Really good ball game. Golden Lions not giving up just yet.
1-1 count. Jacob Snyder. Fouled off.
And there's that outside off-speed pitch there that he usually goes to the 2 strikes. Now he has 2 strikes. He's ahead of the count. He has some pitches to play around with, and Snyder, he's going strong. I do see some action there getting ready to start inside the bullpen, but Coach Crenshaw is going to ride out Jacob Snyder as long as he can.
Runner on second base. The 1-2 by Snyder. Swinging miss, called strike 3. And after giving up some runs and hits early, the last 3 faced, Southern and Jacob Snyder get out of that. So Arkansas Pine Bluff with 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. And so our score moves to Southern 9, Arkansas Pine Bluff 6. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Top of the 7th inning here. Southern with a 9-6 lead. And Tremaine Spears leading off for the Jaguars as the first pitch by Rocky King is called ball 1. And hit by that pitch was Spears. And you see...
Yeah, and Coach James is going to have a conversation with the umpire. He thought that he may have leaned into that pitch. just kind of giving this pitcher some rest out there as well. You come in and you hit the first batter. You can't be too happy about that as a pitcher. You're only 18, 19 years old. The game is the game is right here in close proximity. When you hit the first batter, he's got to give him time to settle down out there. I see James in the bullpen down there is going to get going. He's going to ask somebody to get up, and it looks like a righty. It looks like a righty that's going to get up in the bullpen down there. He may be bringing somebody really quick here.
Xavier Moore comes to the plate. Looks at strike one. Want to remind anyone, all of you watching this contest, tomorrow's game is a 4 p.m. afternoon first pitch. That's 4 p.m. Central. If you're in the area, if you're watching, that's 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 Central. And so after just one pitch, I think that's the pitching coach. I don't think this will be a pitching change.
No, he's just going to go out there, and like I said, he's going to settle him down, but he's going to give his bullpen some time to kind of warm up, throw some extra pitches in there. Coach James knows what he's doing. He's been around the block a couple of times, and one thing about these Southern Jaguars year after year after year, you have to respect the offensive side. And, again, you have to slow their rhythm down. These guys have a batting cage, right? It's like 5 batting cages under the bridge when you go into Baton Rouge. They got the bridge when you drive in. That's where the batting cage is. Sits right up under. So when it's raining outside, when it's storming outside, when it's snowing outside, the elements don't stop these guys from getting in that batting cage and putting it down on the offensive side of the baseball. Ricky Weeks actually touched those batting cages too.
Ricky
Weeks. Second overall in MLB draft, 2003.
I remember Ricky Weeks in high school, as I actually live in his hometown of Altamont Springs, Florida.
All right. You remember him. I'm wondering why Miami didn't remember him, or UCF or somebody, man. How do you let that kid get out of Florida?
Yeah. Tell me about it.
We got to, take him and put him in the dorm ourselves, and roll him. You got to take that kid, man. But, great job by the, head coach Roger Kadar and, and all the draft picks that he's had through the years.
Swinging strike 2. Evens the count up at 2.
I'm surprised Chris Crenshaw not going to the small ball here, trying to add an extra run. Wanting to get that runner over. Rocky King a little too anxious out there. The umpire had to slow him down.
2 balls and 2 strikes for King. Runner on first. He's going. That's coming back up. That's coming towards us.
Oh, man.
No.
I'm 0 for 2.
We had a better shot. At that one than the first one that came towards us.
And as you saw the runner at first base over there, Tremaine Spears, he took off on that pitch. Maybe a hit and run there.
Rocky King back over to first. King wanted to make sure that Spears knows that I remember you just because I hadn't thrown over there in a little bit. I remember you're over there.
Again, he's got to throw off his rhythm over there. Tremaine Spears, nice speed over there in the right field.
And pushes it to a full count now. Well, we've already seen King pick off one base runner.
Right.
And I always imagine throwing to second to be a little bit harder than throwing to first, especially for a lefty. As he goes back over to first again.
And again, this throws off the rhythm of the batter too. Don't forget, great cat and mouse game over there, and also it gives some extra time to the bullpen, get some extra warm-up pitches in there.
Full count. That's going to be
that's out of play.
Foul ball out of play. Another souvenir for the fans.
Wait, you don't have to give these balls back?
No.
We had to give all our balls back in college. We had to go retrieve them.
Really?
We had to go get the ball. You had to go run and get them. Coach said, hey, number 1, number 2, the pitchers had to sit outside and go get all the foul balls.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
That's an instant run to the concession stand or to the bathroom. Little kids come up with that one. He's gone.
Snow cone, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gone. 2-2 for Rocky King. Check that. That was a full count walk there.
And as you saw, Tremaine Spears getting an extra lead over there with full count. Looks like he was taking off on the pitch. Great job there to take off, but it was a ball 4. He didn't need to. Runners at first and second now, no out. So, again, Chris Crenshaw with the lead here, Brian. With the 9-6 lead, you got options here if you're head coach Chris Crenshaw. Do you lay the bunt down or do you swing it and try to put the ball into the outfield and get your runners in?
Bubba Thompson, the second baseman, comes to the plate. No outs in this inning for Southern, leading 9-6 here in the top of the 7th inning.
Here's the wheel play. So there was a call, and they were going to act as though they were going to field the bunt, but as the second baseman ran over to second base, it was a pickoff move. So they call it a timing pick. There's the bunt.
Plate, bunt, up the third base line. And King unable to do anything with that.
No communication right there on the infield, but I actually don't, that was good credit right there by Bubba Thompson. Give Bubba Thompson credit. It was a great bunt to put it down the third base line where nobody can get to it, no man's land. Rocky King didn't know if he wanted to take it, and the third baseman, Karsten Vasquez, they kind of argued about it just a tad bit, and to make that long throw over to first base after a long bunt, you just had no chance. Great job right there by the Southern Jaguars to load the bases with the drag bunt. I mean, it started off as a sacrifice bunt, but it became a drag bunt as he got on base.
Well, with the bases loaded, Coach James comes out to the mound. I think that might be the night for Rocky King. And we'll see there are two pitchers over in the bullpen for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Both of them are still there. I think this may be just a conversation as neither one of those pitchers over in the bullpen appear to be making their way out of that complicated area as we saw earlier for King. No, I think it is.
He made the move. Okay, looks as though he's got a sidewinder in there, and he had a lefty and a righty in there. So, he's going to play the percentages right here. You got Carlton, you got Coach and Frank coming up. So I think he's going to come in with the righty.
Yep, going with the sidewinder there.
As a coach, you got to have a lot of faith in your pitchers. And, Carlos James stuck with Joel Barker. He stuck with Rocky King. And, but letting the first three batters, on base to start the inning, that's just something you can't have in a close ball game like this. But they're going to talk about it tonight at the hotel. Him and the pitching coach, they're going to get some things right. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Rocky King come back maybe game 2 or 3 in a spot position, maybe a lefty versus lefty matchup for the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
So Race Tittle will come out, and he will take over for Rocky King. Race is a redshirt sophomore from Hot Springs, Arkansas, Lakeside High School.
With the bases loaded here for the Southern Jaguars, and bringing in the sidewinder for the Golden Lions. He's going to have to come in and throw strikes. He's probably going to bring the infield in. Close ball game. Play is going to be at the plate. Maybe that sidewinder action is going to try to produce a ground ball, hopefully a fly ball if not. But they're definitely going to try to have to get this first batter out right here. I hope he can do it for the Golden Lions, because if not, that's going to cause trouble for the Golden Lions as they would go down more than 3 runs. They're going to go down about 4 or 5 runs if they can get on base and if the Jaguars can get a hit right here.
So Rocky King ends his night after having pitched 2 innings. However, he did leave 3 runners on. And how interesting for Ray's Tittle, Barker left 3 runners on. Or actually, Barker left 2 on, I believe, for Rocky King, and now King has left 3 on for Race Tittle.
Race is definitely going to have to try to come in and get the first batter out again. Big situation right here, and a lot of trust from Carlos James into Race Tittle.
First pitch called strike there. Colton Frank, the first baseman, at the plate there for Southern, with the bases loaded. There's an infield pop-up. First baseman comes up under that one. And that one, Connor James.
Again, a lot of trust out there from James in Race Tittle. Tittle comes in and gets the first batter out, and it looks as though James is going to make another change. And now he's going to go to the lefty if he does. Yeah, he is. He's going to go to the lefty to come in to face Jalen Armstrong. So Carlos James is going to take the percentages here. He's going to go lefty versus lefty onto Jalen Armstrong. Jalen Armstrong, the speedster, playing center field. On the night, 3 hits. But, you got to applaud Race Tittle, Brian. He came in and he did his job.
He did. Yes,
he did his job. 1 pitch, 1 out. Oh, excuse me, 3 pitches and 1 out. 2 pitches and 1 out, sorry. So you'll definitely see Race Tittle come back in this weekend. He may get a spot in there maybe Saturday night or Sunday afternoon.
Number 4, Justin Reschick, the junior from Holton, Kansas, comes in.
Yeah, Justin Reschick is going to come in here. Again, face the lefty, Jalen Armstrong. 1 away here. Now, you may see the middle of the infield play back. They'll turn 2 up the middle. I like to see Coach James put the corners in right here. You want to try to stop that run, cut down that run at the plate, and maybe get a 5-2 to 3, or maybe even a 3-2 to 3 double play. Justin Reschick coming in and try to get a ground ball right here, maybe even a fly ball. Great job right there getting a fly ball. Now, the golden rule may be sometimes, the unwritten rule is maybe you drop that, in the infield, and you try to let the runners run on their own, and you try to get a double play out of it. I've seen it happen quite a few times, but nevertheless, you want to get the out right there in that situation, and good job by the defense. Pine Bluff not playing a bad defensive game on the infield. They've made some plays. Dante Leach over there at shortstop. Carson Vasquez at third base, and we saw the one by Connor James, the first baseman, and, DeClaudio Irvin at second base playing a good defensive infield. So, the Golden Lions of Pine Bluff, they have the infield to get the double play right here. I like to see Justin Reschick get the ground ball for the Golden Lions.
So for Southern, Tremaine Spears is on third. Xavier Moore is on second. Bubba Thompson is at first. Jalen Armstrong at the plate. had a 2-run double in his last plate appearance, which was that 5th inning.
So instead of playing the middle back, James is going to put everybody in on the infield, and they're going to cut off the run at home. But that is going to give the runner at second some extra room there on the secondary lead. Nobody's holding them on. So a hit to the outfield may score 2. Your infield is kind of playing, short, not necessarily all the way in, but the play is going to be at the plate if the ball gets to the outfield.
1 ball, no strikes. And second one is away as Riechnick now is in a hole, 2-0.
Well, as Riechnick kind of tries to hit that outside of the plate, I like to see the second baseman get more towards up the middle. If they're going to play him outside, no need for that second baseman to play him the pool there as much as he is far to the right side.
Called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And one thing you see by Dante Leach backing up every throw there from the catcher to the pitcher, so in case that ball gets past the pitcher, the runner at third base doesn't advance.
Jalen Armstrong slaps it into left field. That'll bring 1 in, probably 2. The plate to the plate. And another 2-run base hit for Jalen Armstrong. This time a single brings 2 in.
Yeah, another RBI single for Jalen Armstrong there, Brian. And again, good job with the base running for the Jaguars. Third base runner Tremaine Spears automatically scores. Nobody holding on Xavier Moore at second base. He gets a couple of extra steps with the outfield kind of playing halfway inside in, and he can score on that. He can score on that hit. The runner at first gets to second, Bubba Thompson. And Jalen Armstrong ends up at first base. Another RBI, a two-run RBI, a 2 RBI single for Jalen Armstrong there. And Carlos James is going to go back to the bullpen here.
Another pitcher coming in for Arkansas Pine Bluff. And number 31, Trenton Ferguson, the junior from Ottawa, Kansas, comes in now. Southern with an 11-6 lead right now over Arkansas Pine Bluff. As Riechnick, with only 1 batter faced, unable to get that batter out.
And as I saw these Golden Lions back in Houston a couple of weeks ago, they're 2-2 on the season. Okay, 2-2 on the season. And when I saw them play against Texas Southern in the first game, it did not go their way as well. So I'm not sure if that's a trend there for the Golden Lions because, as you saw, they played Prairie View as well. Didn't go their way in that first game of a series, but that's something you want to capitalize on in these 3-game sets if you're going to be in the SWAC, Brian. You have to jump on top in that first game because trying to win the series from behind, it's almost like playing a super regional series. The NCAA goes to super regionals after the NCAA regional, and you have to win 2 out of 3. You can't lose the first 2 and try to come back and score 1. Try to win 1. The series is over. So you got to try to jump on top in that first game, and that's something that Pine Bluff is going to have to work on here in the rest of the season. A lot of conferences out here playing 4-game sets this year. 1 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. The SWAC chose to play 3-game sets, 1 Friday, 1 Saturday, 1 Sunday. Sometimes they may play a doubleheader on Saturday depending on weather, but this is just something that, there's some growing pains with a young baseball team. There's some growing pains, and that first game is not the easiest game. You're playing in a nice stadium, Frisco, Texas, Dr. Pepper Ballpark. There's a nice crowd here, music playing. That may be something that, you don't see in Pine Bluff. Now, you see it in Southern sometime. They're Baton Rouge, they're partying all day, all night. But Pine Bluff, not so much. So, I give much credit to Coach James. I see what he's doing out there. It isn't really going his way as of right now, but we saw earlier, Pine Bluff, they're a couple of swings back into this contest when they get back on the offensive side of the baseball.
Yes, indeed. So Trenton Ferguson inherits Runners on first and second. Isaiah Adams, top of the lineup, is at the plate for Southern. Called strike one there. Adams, 2 for 4 today.
You know, with one out, runners at first and second, you know, Isaiah Adams trying to poke that ball into right field there. Score a runner. Watch the pick here.
To the plate. Ball one.
Second baseman DeClaudio Irvin playing with the runner over there at second base, trying to keep him honest. With a 5-run lead, you don't want it to blow open anymore, so you want to try to keep that runner as close to second base as possible. Now you see Dante Leach moving more into the hole there. As we saw Isaiah Adams, I mean, his first 2 knocks were to the right, were to the left side between the 5-6 hole anyway. There's the
Runners
steal.
are moving. Back to the mound and over to first. So with the runners moving, Isaiah Adams ends up getting a sacrifice there.
Yeah, and it may even have been a hit and run there. You know, you send the runners and you put the ball in play. Great job there by Isaiah Adams just to put the ball in play. The name of this game is to move your runners to the next station. And in this case, he did just that. Runners at first and second, now runners at second and third, and you got Judah Wilbur up. He's been a monster tonight. Good position for this kid right here to break it open.
1-0 count there for Wilbur. He is 2 for 4 today with a single and a triple. 3 RBIs, his last at bat. Lined out to center field. Nice cut. Strike one.
Judah Wilbur transferred in from Chicago State, my neck of the woods. Chicago State lost their program after COVID last year. They dropped it, and, you know, kids enter themselves in the transfer portal, and he ends up in a SWAC. He ends up in a SWAC.
Takes that one, but it's called strike number 2. And so now Trenton Ferguson gets ahead of Wilbur. Arkansas Pine Bluff trying to get out of the inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. And way outside on that one. Moves the count to 2-2.
Deuces are wild here again, Brian. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Put your 2 fingers up on your cap. Tap your head with your index finger and your middle finger, man. That's baseball.
O'Neal Burgess is on deck. Fouled down the first base line.
A lot of netting here. As we saw, the MLB went to that extended net last year after the incident down in Houston and Chicago a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we noticed that on Monday when we were in the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Park.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, the Jumbo Shrimp?
That's the name of the
Jumbo Shrimp.
The AAA affiliate of the Miami Marlins now. Oh, that was the inside, fouled off. You know, I wonder had Wilbur not swung, he might have got hit on that.
It was pretty inside.
Yeah.
I thought it actually hit off his arm when he swung.
Right. Counts 2-2 now. 2 outs. Ferguson. Stretch. Slapped another foul. So Wilbur staying alive here, making Ferguson work for this one.
Almost like that 31 pitch at bat in spring training earlier. Was it earlier this week or late last week? I mean,
can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. I think
the batter won, by the way. It was a walk.
Well,
it wasn't even a hit. It was a walk. There's the fly ball.
Let's see. A pair of Golden Lion. Yeah, that one settled in. And the first baseman comes up with that one, Connor James. So 2 runs scored on 2 hits. 2 runners left on base by Southern. And we move to the bottom of the 7th. It's the stretch, the 7th inning stretch. Southern with an 11-6 lead. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique to spice up your closet with trendy, unique looks. We have fashionable and chic looks at very affordable prices. Velvet Boutique offers free shipping all year long on all orders. Shop online at www.melvetboutique.com. That's www.melvetboutique.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique.
Well, coming out of the 7th inning stretch, definitely was non-traditional with a little Al Green and Beyonce taking us back to the ballpark here. Brian Fulford and Nick Strong here. The 2021 Lone Star Diamond Classic here at Dr. Pepper Ballpark. Southern with an 11-6 lead here.
And Jacob Snyder putting himself in position for the win right here. Wilhelm Allen didn't go the required 4 2/3. Great job there by the third baseman to get the ball across, but
safe.
The first baseman there, Colton Frank, couldn't get back to the bag in time. And a leadoff single there, maybe an error. I think that may be an error. E5 there on the throw for Edwin Dela Cruz. I'm going to say an error right there.
An error there?
Yeah, I mean, you got to throw that ball. You got to put it on the mark. You know, you can't throw it off the bag. I mean, it was a great stab there by the third baseman, Xavier Moore. I mean, came up and charged the ball, and Coach Crenshaw is going to go out and challenge you. He's just going to have a nice conversation with the first base umpire, ask him if he wants some coffee tonight. You know, they'll chop it up a little bit. Starbucks is right around the corner, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, with that being said, he thought that his first baseman got back to the bag before the runner, before the batter, Edwin Dela Cruz, got to first base, and they agreed to disagree. You know, that's what men do. We agree to disagree, and we continue to play baseball.
I've always you have to appreciate there's an art form to the manager arguing a call, and which you've rarely ever seen reversed. Some people might think it's pointless, those who aren't too familiar with the game, but still got to go out there. There's a shot into right field, and settling in under that is Spears. And so on the first pitch there by Connor James.
Yeah, Connor James a little bit too impatient right there, but trying to get the ball to the right side, had the right idea, trying to push something in front of the right fielder so Edwin Dela Cruz can get around the third base. But, you know, he just kind of dropped that shoulder a little bit and kind of launched the ball up into the air and kind of put it where the right fielder, Tremaine Spears, was. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just another day in the ballpark for Tremaine Spears.
Wonder if we've got a pinch hitter for Kreutzer.
Well, I was thinking, Coach James made, 2 pitching changes last night. I was thinking, was he going to go in between innings, try to, make, Coach James, man, he's been around a long time. He loves his baseball. Really good guy, man. Plays some pro ball himself.
Humberto Maldonado, the junior from Las Vegas, Nevada, will pinch hit now in the DH spot. takes ball 1.
He's from a nice area of the country, Las Vegas, Nevada. Got a chance to see UNLV. I saw some area code game out there a couple of years ago for my birthday. They play some really good baseball in Las Vegas. They really do, yeah. Greg Maddox actually brought up he's actually the volunteer pitching coach for the Running Rebels.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Slapped into center field. That one's going to drop for a hit. And so Maldonado comes in and does his job.
Great piece of hitting there by Humberto Maldonado. You know, coming in a pinch hit, Brian, has got to be one of the hardest things to do in baseball. You really only get one shot to shoot your shot, as they say. You know, and for Humberto Maldonado to be ready, he's had a chance to see Jacob Snyder on the mound for the past 4 innings. So you, as a batter on the bench, you know, you kind of study the pitcher, try to see some of his tendencies, and he just poked the bat out, got the ball outside, and you know, put it right there behind the second baseman and the shortstop, and just did his job.
Well, the good thing for him is he came in on the DH spot.
Right.
So you gotta feel like if there's any spot where I may get a second chance, it's the DH spot. You know, if you come back around, obviously this being the bottom of the 7th, unless there's some runs here, and there's a shot slapped into right field, gathered up by Spears, and so Timothy Martin that's the second out of the inning. Both of them into right field for Spears.
And that's one thing you have to do with these lefties. As they say, you have to throw your hands. And as you saw Tim Martin right there, the righty, just kind of throwing his hands out there, trying to get the ball out to right field. But, you know, Chris Crenshaw has his defense perfectly placed right now. You know, 2 outs by the right field. Those balls could have probably dropped if you got him out there in regular depth next time.
First pitch fouled off into the near the concession area. There's a young man that came up with a souvenir. I don't think he'll be giving that one back.
So how did he get it before we're in a spot where we can get a good foul ball. I just need one. I want to make Sports Center tonight.
Slap into up the middle.
Got to score one.
On his horse coming around home, to home, and sliding in there is Dela Cruz. So give that single RBI to Dante Leach.
Yeah, great job right there by the shortstop, flashing the leather on defense and putting the ball in play on offense. 2 for 2 tonight, couple of RBIs, and 2 walks and 2 runs scored. And, you know, Dante Leach just kind of showing why he's a shortstop, you know, why he's on the field tonight. Great job there scoring a run. And he just kind of throws his hands out there as well. You'll see more of that as the inning gets to going on a little longer.
Karsten Vasquez comes to the plate. He had a 2-run double his last plate appearance. And he takes ball 1. Jacob Snyder to the plate. Outside, ball 2.
This DJ is really grooving over here, man. He's been going all game. Remnants of the old Negro League baseball. It's what they used to do at the games. Have a good time and party. And speaking of Negro Leagues, you know, in the SWAC, they always do one every year. You know, 2 teams play against each other, wear the old Negro League jerseys. I got to be a part of that contest back in 2004 with Coach Kadar at Southern, and I played at Texas Southern for Coach Candy Robinson. We put on all the jerseys and, you know, just had a good time and played some baseball just like they did back in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s.
Now, is that a randomly selected game?
Yes.
Or is that okay?
Yes, and, you know, you just never know. You know, you just kind of get together. Now, LSU actually played Southern where Southern wore the Negro League jerseys, and then LSU wore some old throwback 1915 25 jerseys, you know, with just the basic L on the jersey. That was pretty cool as well.
Called strike. That brings it to a full count for Karsten Vasquez. Full count, 2 outs.
Now, you'll see the runners take off here, full count, 2 outs. But you want to make sure that Snyder goes to the plate. Well, nobody's holding the runners on, so I think the runners will be taken off. They'll score on a hit here easy. At least the runner at second will.
And there's a ball, and now the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded for Casey Higgins, the left fielder.
Coach Crenshaw's going to go to the bullpen here. And what a job here tonight by Jacob Snyder, Brian. I mean, he went 4 innings plus some, 4 2/3 if I'm not mistaken. You know, put the ball, just kind of put the ball where he needed it to be. 1 bad inning, you're one swing, Carlos James is 1 swing away from creating maybe a 1-run ball game. So Coach Crenshaw is going to go to the bullpen. It looks like he's going to bring in his righty here.
So, and we're also going to have a pinch hitter. So we've got 2 things going on. We got a pinch hitter and a new pitcher coming in now for Southern.
We may have to get a picture of the scorecard. We may have to get a picture of the scorecard tonight. Great job there by Snyder as he comes off the field. I was looking at his stats early on, and he actually came in relief when they played Grambling early on in the year and got a 4-inning save. So, Snyder's the long relief guy for the Southern Jags.
It's pretty impressive, a 4-inning save.
Well, usually if 3 innings, 3 innings is a save if you finish up the game, no matter what the no matter what the score is. It would depend if you're winning. If you're winning, excuse me.
So coming in pitching for Southern now, number 5, Dimitri Frank, the junior from St. Louis, Missouri, from Hazelwood Central and Jefferson College.
St. Louis produces some good ball players there. Home of Ryan Howard, Nelly, played a little baseball in his day.
Really?
And home of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Of course.
Good old Ozzie Smith. You ever heard of Joe Gibson?
Oh, there's a love. There's no love lost between me and the Cardinals.
Let's hear it.
They have kept my favorite team from winning the NL more years than I care to think. My early years as a fan of the New York Mets, and then in my later years, my post-20 years, fan of the Atlanta Braves. It's always been the Cardinals that have been a thorn in my side. As my teams have only won 1 World Series, and in those years, I think the Cardinals have won multiple World Series. So
wow.
Yeah.
Ozzie Smith, Bob Gibson. I saw Mark McGuire go up against Sammy Sosa, and he was able to do that home run record, man. That was some good times in MLB baseball.
Yeah, I don't care what people say. That was a beautiful time for baseball. People can talk about all the negative stuff after the fact, but in the moment, it was fun and exciting, and I thought it was great. Even looking at some of the old 30 for 30s about that period of time,
right?
It's a great reminder. Bryce Roche, the senior from Beaverton, Oregon, is pinch hitting now for Casey Higgins.
Passed up on Oregon State and Oregon. Good baseball state, man, Oregon is. Really good baseball state.
He takes ball 1.
One swing could change this game.
Called strike, 1-1 there. He's
got to be methodical in his pitching right here.
Dimitri Frank dealing with a bases-loaded situation. The score is 11-6. That one put some heat on that one.
Great job touching that corner. And like I say, you see the catcher, Taj Porton, setting up on one knee there, giving his area some room, trying to kind of deke the umpire as well. You know, he's has some room to kind of frame anything that's low, anything that's a little outside.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Caught him swinging there. Nice little off-speed pitch there by Dimitri Frank. He gets out of the inning, and Arkansas Pine Bluff leaves 3 runners on, but they did get 1 run on 2 hits. And so our score goes to Southern 11, Arkansas Pine Bluff 7. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
I'm returning Clinton Paris, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being hurt.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts. Top of the 8th inning. Southern with an 11-8, 11-7. Double check my score here. I know it's a little bit different than what I see out there on the box.
No, well, you're looking at the inning there. You know, it kind of got me too.
Yeah.
Top of the 8 inning here.
The shot to the second baseman, scooped up and thrown over to first for Claudio Irvin over to Connor James, and that'll be 4-3 for O'Neal Burgess.
Good job there getting the first out for the Golden Lions. Game not over yet. Golden Lions have 2 ABs left.
Taj Porter at the plate. Called strike 1. Trenton Ferguson. Tight inside, ball 1. Ferguson to the plate, fouled off the face mask there of the catcher. That one hurt.
No, usually on that play you kind of want to give your catcher or umpire a little time. Looks as though they're both good. It's getting a little late here.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Want to speed it up a little bit.
Slapped over to the second baseman, and unable to secure it. He was able to knock it down. He was diving to his right. Tough play. We'll probably credit that single there to Porter.
Yeah, I don't think he really got in front of it, so I think that's more of a hit. He had to move to his left or his right. Well, he had to move to his right to get to the baseball. Usually when it's hit right at you and you don't get it, cleanly, it's an error. But if you have to move to your right or move to your left, usually, it goes down as a hit. So, different strokes for different folks, different E's for different C's. But nevertheless, Southern has a runner at first base here.
Tremaine Spears come to the plate now with a teammate on first, and Trenton Ferguson has to deal with ball one. Spears hit by a pitch in his last at-bat, ended up coming in on a run.
Also scored in his last 2 at-bats. Southern threatening here.
Ball 2. 2-0 count for Spears.
I'm kind of looking at the leadoff that Porter is getting over at first base. He's trying to stay cautious over there, but he's getting a little bit as he goes.
Foul ball.
Great camera work out there by our guys, man. Tracking the ball each way.
The redshirt junior from Pineville, Louisiana, Tremaine Spears. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sits on that one and ends up being ball 3.
Pineville right outside of Alexandria in the center of Louisiana, just south of Grambling.
The more and more I hear of these cities, I realize I have not traveled nearly enough.
It's where my grandmother's from.
3-1 count. Fouled off.
And you actually saw Taj Porter take off on that pitch. Looks as though could have been a hit and run there. Chris Crenshaw trying to mash on the gas.
Full count here for Spears. Ferguson has to deal with Porter on first. Comes to the plate, strikes him out. Second out of the inning. So third baseman Xavier Moore comes up to the plate. Southern leading 11-7. Trenton Ferguson to the plate. Strike 1 or more. Moore drew a walk in his last at-bat, forced a full count. And scored a run as he touched every base in his last at-bat.
Xavier Moore's been playing a good third base tonight, Brian. Really good third base.
A little off speed there, and ends up, ball decided to want to come back to the pitcher on its own there. One ball, 1 strike. Runner is on first. 2 outs. Ferguson to the plate. High and away. Ball 2.
Now, Brian, if you're a college student, you're at an HBCU having fun, and you hear this song come on, how do you not want to stop and, just kind of have a little fun on that baseball field, man? This DJ is really getting it in tonight, man.
and hits him as he threw it behind him. And so Moore has walked twice, been hit by a pitch. So on base percentage skyrocketing for Xavier Moore as he's rubbing his left side on that one as he slowly walks to first.
It must have really hurt because, like I said earlier, the rule is not to touch it, not to touch wherever the ball hits you. But it must have really hurt him out there.
I don't know whose rule that is, but if I just got hit like that, I'm rubbing that one out.
Looks as though he might get a pinch runner here. Javante Doris out there just in case, the junior from Raymond, Mississippi. Actually, he's going to replace Porter. So Porter's going to come out the game.
Now, with 2 outs, I'm wondering if that's for the catcher, as Porter is a catcher, to give him an opportunity.
No, there's no courtcy runner in college.
No courtesy runner.
No courtesy in college.
Division I. I know they have it in
NAIA. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. I believe at one time you could bat 10 batters in NAIA, man.
Oh, wow.
If the extra hitter.
Bubba Thompson stands in there with 2 runners on, 2 outs. Ooh, that one's inside as well. And so Trenton Ferguson having a few control issues right now.
So Javante Doris is going to go run at second base.
And
Carlos James is going to have another conversation.
Mm-hmm. So the last few times we've seen Coach James, this one seems to be more of a conversation with Ferguson. I think I picked up on the cues from Coach James when he goes to the mounds and he starts shuffling around the dirt, sliding it from left to right. That's pretty much a signal that there is going to be a pitching change. This one seems to be more of a conversation. But then again, I'm wrong, as sometimes it seems to be happening a lot, as there is a pitching change. Thought there was more of a conversation on this one.
So he is going to make a change.
Does look like it.
Gotcha.
Well, the cue is I've seen and coming out of the bullpen. Now, one of the things I've noticed in college compared to what you might normally see on the professional levels is the transfer of the ball. I don't know if that's maybe because of COVID, but usually it's the manager will take the ball from the starter. But this one seems to be more of a teammate-to-teammate pass of the ball, where I've yet to see the coach take the ball from the starter. I don't know. Maybe that's something maybe I have just been noticing or picked up, or if that is a
Well, you know, everybody's doing their own thing. Everybody has their COVID protocols. You know, college has theirs. I've been actually watching a lot of pro baseball from around the world. You know, one of the craziest things I've seen so far is in Cuba. Okay, I watch a lot of Cuban baseball, I watch a lot of those guys down there play. And when they take off their gloves or their batting or whatever, somebody from the dugout brings like a backpack, you know, sort of like a small bag.
Mm-hmm.
And they put their things in there so it won't be touched by whoever else is bringing the bag out. You know what I mean? So the coach won't touch their stuff. They're the only ones who touch their equipment, and they put it inside of a bag, take it back to the dugout, and then when they come back in the dugout, they can get their stuff and go back out on the field, or wherever they leave it.
Interesting.
Very. I've seen Venezuelan baseball, the way they do it down there. They're wearing their mask, man. They're transferring baseballs. Now, the MLB was doing something, you know, where they weren't using the same baseballs last year. I mean, they probably went through about 3 to 4 cases of balls last year, you know, each game. If they don't already, you know. But, you know, there's just been some protocols, you know, some things you want to do to stay safe because, I mean, this has impacted not only baseball, I mean, but it's impacted all sports around the world. You know what I'm saying? And, just kind of want to be safe, man. You just want to be safe around these neck of the woods here.
Yeah, and I think nobody really knows how the transference occurs. I mean, we've seen situations where people have supposedly been doing everything right, and then all of a sudden you have positive testing. You see situations where people are doing all kinds of things in terms of transferring the ball and other things, and nobody gets sick. So it is,
Well, as we know, Prairie View is out, with their presumed, cases, and that's why they're not playing Grambling this weekend. And you just ask that everybody stay safe in the dugout. Coaches be aware of what's going on, and everybody take the right precautionary methods to stay safe. I mean, this has impacted, obviously not sports, but it's impacted, just the world in general, man. And, we just, send our hearts out there to everybody who's, doing their thing and, just trying to stay safe and, and be safe, everybody, definitely.
So Bubba Thompson back in the box. He's got a 1-0 count. And that ball is high, ball 2, so Edwin Colon, number 19 for UAPB, is the pitcher on the mound. The right-hander picks up first strike.
Yeah, when you bring him out the bullpen and put him on the mound, you expect to see a strike, or at least an out on that first pitch.
Colon, a junior from the Dominican Republic. Swinging strike 2.
Dominican played baseball this winter, too. They played through their COVID protocols. They had some good baseball down there this winter. A lot of pro guys went back down there and played. Good team, Lacey, Tigris.
Bubba Thompson. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Seem to have a lot of those today. That's going to be popped up. Shortstop came over to the second base side and cleans that one up. So we finished that inning with no runs on 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. And we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Southern leading 11-7. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network. This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Sugar Chateau Desserts is a specialty bakery located in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. We will create delicious and one-of-a-kind treats for any occasion. Sugar Chateau is currently shipping cakes in a jar, offering a variety of different flavors in a single-serve container that can help you celebrate in accordance with social distancing. Place your orders today by calling 803-526-7895 or visiting sugarchateaudesserts.com.
Bottom of the 8th inning here, Arkansas Pine Bluff. And let's see, that one's going to head towards just into the crowd there on that first First pitch there for DeClaudio Irvin, second baseman. 0 for 3 today, I believe, with one walk. Watch that one. Strike two now, sitting on an 0-2 count. Dimitri Frank, the pitcher right now for Southern. And that ball down the first base line towards the crowd. Or I should say the bleachers, chairs. Nice effort there by Colton Frank to want to go over there and make that. It went to about the third or fourth row.
Can you get a look and see who that number is on the new catcher? I mean, we know Taj Porter went out. If that's number 35 or umpire covering him up now.
And we'll try to get that here shortly. And there's a strikeout. Irving goes down.
Great pitch sequence there by Dimitri. He's also from St. Louis, came in and just able to kind of, inside, outside.
Over to the right side, scooped up by Thompson over to first base. Beautiful 4-3.
We've been talking about it all night. This middle infield for the Southern Jaguars, Judah Wilbur over at shortstop and the great Bubba Thompson at second base have just made plays all night. Great job over there moving lateral to his left-hand side and making a play. You had to kind of square yourself up on a run so that he can kind of get a straight angle at that first baseman. If he keeps running and he throws it off balance, that ball is somewhere in the dugout. Great job there by Bubba Thompson to get the out.
And the new catcher behind the plate for Southern is number 13, William Nelson, the junior from Baton Rouge.
The hometown kid.
There's a shot that's heading towards center. Second baseman. Second baseman slides up underneath that one, and he went pretty deep to go get it, but that's how that inning ends. 1, 2, 3. 3 up, 3 down for Arkansas Pine Bluff. And we'll move to the top of the ninth. Southern with the lead. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
Now, you can live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. Going around town, trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact.
But in ninth inning, Southern with an 11-7 lead here. the Lone Star Diamond Classic here at Dr. Pepper Ballpark. Don't say that too fast. Colton Frank at the plate. Shot in the left field. And the left fielder settles underneath that. He comes forward after drifting back a little bit. A little deceptive there on the eyes with that shot. I believe that might not have been Casey Higgins. That might have been Bryce Raish who came up with that. That was Colton Frank.
Yeah, great job there by the left fielder, Bryce Roche. Or excuse me, that was another defensive replacement out there for left field. But great job moving back on the ball first, as we talked about. First step always back, and then you come in and, get up under it. And good job out there by the left fielder.
Jalen Armstrong at the plate here for Southern. Had a 2 RBI single in his last plate appearance, which was back in the 7th.
And 3 hits on the night for this kid. Have a day, Jalen Armstrong.
One ball, one strike. Outside ball 2. We've had quite a few players with some impressive performances. Nick, you might be a tough call for player of the game here. Might want to start getting those thoughts together.
I definitely like the glove of Judah Wilbur. I like the glove of second baseman Bubba Thompson. And like I say, up that middle, second base, shortstop, center field, that's where you're going to have your skilled players at. And Jalen Armstrong, 3 hits on the night. Bubba Thompson, 2 hits on the night. And Judah Wilbur, also 2 hits on the night. It's going to be tough to choose.
Foul ball, full count now. Edwin Colon on the mound for Arkansas Pine Bluff here.
Big defensive alignment here for the Golden Lions.
They definitely have left the middle of the field wide open.
I almost think you bring in a right fielder just to put him on top of second base. Man.
Armstrong takes that, ends up taking the walk there.
It doesn't matter. Now you got to worry about the speed of Jalen Armstrong. Does Coach Chris Crenshaw try to get him over to second, or does he let Isaiah Adams come into the box and swing it here?
Adams has gone out 1-3 on the last 2 at-bats. And that ball skips away from the catcher, and Armstrong gets over to second. Catcher throws over to third just to keep Armstrong from even thinking about going over to third.
Yeah, good job just to try to get it back in and, just try to save an extra bag being taken there by the Southern Jaguars. It was a pretty good throw, too. He was about 25 feet behind.
That throw.
The plate.
Two balls, no strikes. This is the 6th plate appearance for Isaiah Adams. Coach James comes to the mound.
And Coach James, again, just kind of talking to his pitcher out there, his pitcher and his catcher. And, he's going to bring in a new pitcher here, but he's kind of letting them know, you guys, you got to come in throwing strikes. You can't prolong the game. It's late in the contest. You're in the 9th inning. You're out there to get some work. You got to be able to get it. You got to come in and do your job. And just throwing balls out there, not having an approach there on the mound, it's not going to get you very far in the SWAC.
Number 14 for Arkansas Pine Bluff.
It's going to be Mike Gerwitz, the 6'1", 180-pound sophomore from Fort Myers, Florida. Coach James bringing in his bullpen, getting them some work tonight. You know, these guys you'll possibly see some of these guys Saturday and Sunday. You know, one thing I know about playing in the SWAC, Brian, those scores run up, man, on that last day of baseball. Those scores run up, those bullpens get emptied.
Berwitz is the 7th pitcher of record for UAPB today. And even with the score being 11-7, as we've seen this week, this game is not quite in the bag.
Well, he's got some work cut out for him if he's going to try to keep this score close. Coach James, you know, not afraid of switching pitchers during the count or during the at-bat.
I've noticed that. We've seen that happen at least twice now. This time it's actually a 2-0 count on Adams, but we saw it one time earlier. I think it was a 1-0 count.
That's when he brought Rocky King in.
Yes. So Mike Berwitz on the mound with a runner on second. And comes in and throws a strike. That's a positive sign right off the bat.
Yeah, you definitely want your bullpen guys to come in throwing strikes.
Come in and throw a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike now for Berwitz. To the plate. Coming our way. That was us. That I don't think we're going to get anything else closer. That one came right towards us. It just needed to be a little bit higher.
Luckily, we got 2 more days here.
All right.
Just don't let me get too far out that window, guys.
No, I got you.
I love to play baseball.
I got you.
I love the ball.
I got you. I don't know what's going on after there. Runner's going. Slap foul ball. I wonder if Isaiah should have stayed away from that one.
Well, you know, just trying to – Coach Crenshaw trying to send the runners in motion, get an extra jump out there. You know, 11-7. You know, still a pretty close game here. I mean, you're just 3 base runners and 1 pitcher and 1 swing away from tying it. You know, so you definitely want to put an extra run on the board right here for insurance.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Slap towards the shortstop. Leach over to first, got him.
Great play there again by Dante Leach. He's made some web gems over there at shortstop tonight. You know, great guy to look up to, man. This number 10, you know, Dante Leach, Brian, he's only a freshman coming in from Sacramento, California, was a part of Glendale Community College baseball team last year. You know, so he's a COVID freshman. You know, this guy has at least 3 more years left to play here at Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Judah Wilbur, ooh, that one was tight and inside. One-0 pitch to Wilbur. Ball 2. 6th plate appearance for Judah Wilbur as well today. Runner on second is Jalen Armstrong. Called strike. That one on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, good spot to put it at right there. And as you see, I mean, he's throwing it outside and putting it on a spot, but the second baseman playing up the middle. They're giving up that right hole right here. If they're going to pitch him outside, I would totally appreciate if that second baseman could cheat more over to his left, to his glove side, to his left side, to try to, you know, hit that outside, to try to defend that outside play part of the play.
2 balls, 2 strikes. pitch outside, ball 3. Full count for Judah Wilbur.
You know, I know it's late in the game and, you know, you're 4 runs, but full count right here, 2 outs. It's not an automatic steal there for the runner at second, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Armstrong gets sent in motion here.
Moving, that ball gets by the catcher. And
Jalen Armstrong did a good job of reading ball and dirt right there. I mean, he wasn't stealing on a pitch, but he did get the necessary secondary lead so that ball kicks away from that catcher. He can get to third base easily.
Well, no harm, no foul, even though that ball went into the dirt. I mean, it was a walk anyway, and still credit that as a pass ball because conceivably the base runner on second would have probably stayed on second. But now O'Neal Burgess comes to the line, or comes to the plate. Wrong sport.
First and third situation, you've got Jalen Armstrong over there running at third base. I wouldn't be throwing over the first base too much right here. You may try to get Jalen Armstrong catching the defense off guard here. Armstrong taking his prep step over, his secondary over there at third base. Now the third baseman is actually playing close to the back.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1 on Burgess.
And just to finish my thought, with the third baseman playing close to the bag, you know, usually you kind of put your corners close to the lines late in the inning, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. So, you know, Carlos James was taking away all the doubles down the lines right here.
Burwitz back over to first again. The 0-1, a bit high.
Wilbur's got good speed over at first base. And Jalen Armstrong, obviously great speed at the runner at third base. I mean, 2 outs, you may not want to take the bat out of your 3-hole batter's hands. You let him swing it.
Right back up the middle.
But
steps on second, and that is how this one in the 9th will end. 2 runners left on, no runs, on no hits. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Arkansas Pine Bluff trailing 11-7. We'll see what kind of fun we have in the bottom of the 9th inning. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Have you had your EarthBlend?
As we come back to the bottom of the 9th inning, Arkansas Pine Bluff trailing to 11-7. Want to take a minute and make mention and thank all of the sponsors of the Lone Star Classic. Their continued support contributes to the success of this event. Sponsors such as Kubota, Parkland Hospital, Tender Smokehouse, Fubu Mobile, CityLink, and State Farm. Additional sponsors include ACU Construction, Butler Group, Dallas Morning News, Concrete Paddocks, and A Day Therapy.
Can you go back to the food sponsors for me real quick? I mean, we've had a long game out here tonight, about a 3.5-hour baseball game. I mean, I just want to hear it. I just maybe they're listening and maybe they want to help us out a little bit, and maybe they just want to, give us a couple of samples here and there, and just kind of, in response.
Well, we definitely want to thank the sponsors who participated in the meal donations for Southern University and University of Arkansas Pine Bluff players. Feel free to, the broadcast team as well. We also say thank you maybe on Saturday or Sunday. But those food sponsors would be Taco Shack, Muya Burgers, love that name, Jin Korean BBQ, and Julie's Sweets.
Oh, wow.
Connor James, the first baseman, is at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. And pitching for Southern, Dimitri Frank. Southern with an 11-7 lead. Looking for their 7th consecutive win over Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, they've been pretty dominant versus Carlos James and the baseball team there at Pine Bluff. Good job here by the Southern Jaguars, just kind of keeping context in this contest, kind of keeping control of the game, keeping Arkansas Pine Bluff on the back burner, doing their job on the offensive side of the baseball, but even on the defensive side of the baseball, the Jaguars have been on fire tonight.
As we are probably at about maybe the halfway point of the conference season, Nick, how would you – that ball fouled off hard. How would you look and how would you handicap or view the first half of the season in the SWAC as you think about getting towards that conference tournament, as you think about favorites, and obviously you have a tournament to play, so anything can happen in the tournament, but who do you think kind of comes out of the SWAC East and West?
Well, you mentioned it earlier. There's a lot of parity here on the SWAC East, on the SWAC West this year. Teams that kind of usually win aren't winning. Texas Southern, went to Grambling last week as the Dimitri Frank just strikes out that guy.
Connor James called out looking.
Texas Southern was looking good this season. They got the transfer from, Arkansas Pine Bluff. But, they went down to Grambling last week, and it didn't work out for them at all, so they're having a down year over there as well. Southern's actually in the lead over there, 4-2. Leading this conference as they can possibly move to 5-2 today. And they look pretty good here, in this contest. So, Southern's the early morning favorite right here. And if they can keep it up, like I say, Pine Bluff not a bad team. First game, they're always getting off to a bad start. But as you take a look, you'll kind of see they kind of ramp it up the next 2 days. Even Grambling State has been looking good. They got a chance to sweep Texas Southern last week. Had a good showing.
Fouled off.
And had a good showing, 4-3 on the season here. So, Southern and Grambling look to battle at the top. And as you see Jackson State right now, just all over the SWAC West at 7-1. Mississippi Valley State having a rebuilding year. Alabama A&M just getting a new head coach. So those type of things are going to take time, for these teams to kind of gel together and get things right. Alcorn State actually off to a good year. 5-5 with Coach Brett Richardson down there in Alcorn. I mean, just having a blast. He had the COVID year last year. He had a really good team last year, but at 5-5 this year, he's right there on the mark.
Umpire calls for time. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count right now for Dimitri Frank.
As we talk about the SWAC, I would have really liked to see PV and Grambling play this weekend, although due to certain circumstances, but Prairie View, really struggling again so far this year. But they've got a good crop coming in. One thing that about Coach Riggins, he's going to be around. He may not be the talk of the town, but he's always going to be there when he can be.
Foul ball. Not close enough for us to even think about it.
One thing I want to see from our SWAC teams just moving forward is, just kind of being more competitive in that midweek game. Kind of being more competitive in that midweek game. I know the conference, we're saving all our talent, but our depth has just got to get a little bit better.
There's a shot into left field. That one's going. That one might be gone. It is. Home run by Humberto Maldonado. That one just kind of kept going, and it just kind of caught us by surprise. I'm not going to lie to you, because I really thought the left fielder out there, Isaiah Adams, had it, and then he realized, wait a minute, that ball is still going.
We talked about it early on. Humberto Maldonado was a pinch hitter for the DH Nick Kreutzer. You talk about only having one chance. You said sometimes you get two, and Humberto got a second chance, and he put it over the left field wall. He's saying, hey, if I'm going to play in the Rangers minor league ballpark, you all need to come out and watch me play, because I definitely want to be playing up here sometime in the future. Good job there, Humberto Maldonado.
It's 364 to the wall in left center. I'd say that probably went at least towards the light pole. I don't think it went into the Dr. Pepper little fan area there.
The lawn seats.
Yeah, and I don't know if it, that fence is there. That may have gone outside of the fence. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but definitely went 375 plus at least.
They call this kind of a sneaky comeback here. As I said, 3-run difference here in the ninth inning. Not a big lead here for these Jaguars. Some hitting can get the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions back into this contest.
1 ball, 2 strikes. It's 11-8 now. Southern Southern's lead cut from 4 to 3. Timothy Martin at the plate. Nobody necessarily throwing or warming up in the Southern bullpen. Dimitri Frank on his own to finish this one. Coming back. Fouled off.
Sometimes, in this world of analytics, sometimes you go to your closer, you go to your ninth inning guy. But some of the stats and research say just stick with what's working. Bring in that guy in the 7th or 8th, and if he's cruising, just let him finish out the contest. And that's what Coach Crenshaw was doing right now with Dimitri Frank. He's letting him get his work in. He's going to let him close out this contest. Dimitri Frank is Crenshaw's guy right now.
Full count now for Martin. Can he get on base? The pitch into right field, and just settled in on that one was Tremaine Spears. And so that is the second out of the inning. And Dante Leach. Leach is 2 for 2. He's walked twice. This is his 5th at-bat. He has been on base every at-bat in this contest.
On-base percentage 1,000.
Yes, sir. There's a rip into right field. Is that one going to be? It's going to be settled under by Spears, and that will be how this one comes to an end as Southern puts an end to this contest by a score of 11-8. Final score, and that is the 7th consecutive win for the Jaguars over Arkansas Pine Bluff. And that'll improve Southern's record to 7-12 overall, 5-2 in the conference. Arkansas Pine Bluff will drop to 2-11 overall, 2-3 in the conference. Game 2 of our series will be tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. So we want to, whether you are in the area, if you're watching this broadcast and you can get out to Dr. Pepper Ballpark, we want to encourage you to come on out to this contest. Should be a great day. We're expecting beautiful weather. And we expect another good contest by both of these teams. And if you're watching us, make sure to tune in. Black College Sports Network, www.mybcsn.net. Make sure to share it with a friend or two. Let them know where they can see this.
Take a break, and we're going to see if we get the coaches.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we hope to have a post-game interview with Coach Chris Crenshaw of the Southern University Jaguars. You're watching the 2021 Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
Coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Well, our final score from Dr. Pepper Ballpark, Game 1 of the Lone Star Diamond Classic again between Southern and Arkansas Pine Bluff. Southern with an 11-8 win. Our winning pitcher will most likely be credited to Jacob Snyder, who came in the third inning and did a great job in the third, fourth, and fifth innings, not giving up any runs. Did give up 2 in the sixth. But at that point, the offense had pretty much done a great job for Southern, as he did enter the ball game with a 5-4 lead. Losing pitcher from Arkansas Pine Bluff will most likely be Joel Barker, who really had the misfortune of he had he had 2 bad innings where he's credited with 4 runs in each inning. He had the 4 runs he gave up in the second. Thought he had settled down a little bit in the third and fourth, but then the fifth inning kind of got away from him. And even though he gave up 2 and was pulled out of the ball game and replaced, he still left 2 on that were credited to him. So he ends up with 9 giving up 9 in the contest. So, Nick, first game under the belt for Southern. What are your thoughts on just game 1? And when you have a 3-game series, what are your thoughts as far as what do you take away from game 1 and then you go into the next game 2 to 3? Still trying to win the series. Obviously, you're still in play for UAPB.
I take one game at a time. We've often seen in SWAC and just in college sports, you take one game and the other team comes back and take the next 2. You take it one game at a time, and that's what Coach Crenshaw did tonight. Here, when you saw this offensive attack from the Southern Jaguars, he was playing to win this game tonight. You get your team off to good momentum runs, scoring some runs, get the victory in game 1. That can set up games 2 and 3. But tonight, you go ahead and get the win, and great job by Chris Crenshaw in there. One thing I got to point out is Jalen Armstrong in the 9-hole, in the 9-hole, in the 9-hole. May I add, it was the 9-hole. Jalen Armstrong, 5 plate appearances tonight. 5 plate appearances tonight, 4 times on base. 4 singles. He struck out 1 time. Great job by this young man to be a second leadoff man here for the Jaguars. And not to mention the defense up the middle. Judah Wilbur and Jalen Armstrong. Jalen Armstrong in center field. Judah Wilbur at shortstop. And Bubba Thompson at second base. Great job by this core group of guys, man. I like to see how the Southern Jaguars come out in the line tomorrow. I like to see them, using more of the small ball as they did tonight. But I really thought Coach Crenshaw called a good game as an offensive coordinator and as a defensive coordinator. Great job, Jaguars.
Well, and when we start thinking about players of the game, you already mentioned Jalen Armstrong and what he did in the 9-hole. But how about Judah Wilbur with the, 6 plate appearances? But in the second inning with the bases loaded, the triple, which pretty much broke this game wide open, in the top of the second. But you've also got some other guys there who great plate appearances and at-bats. It's tough to say who was the player of the game. I think we could go. I'm so tossed. I could give it to about 3 or 4 guys. So I'll throw it to you and say, hey, name one guy. But I'll put the pressure on you.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. But as an offensive guy, we always want to see the player of the game. But how about the defensive? How about on the defensive side, and not even on the 8 positions that you catch the ball at? How about the 1 position where you pitch the ball? Jacob Snyder came in and threw a great game for these Southern Jaguars. I would have liked to hear why Chris Crenshaw took Wilhelm Allen early on. He only went 2 innings, but the job that Jacob Snyder did to keep this offense, off balance. Did the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. He kept them off balance, and he went through, like you said, 5 innings. That wasn't his first time coming in relief and grabbing a victory. He did that also against Grambling. And like I said, Jacob Snyder is his long inning guy, is his long relief guy. And if I'm going to give a player the game, I'm actually going to give it to him. I like Jalen Armstrong. I like Judah Wilbur. But, just the performance that Jacob Snyder put on for these guys out there, I'm going to give him the player of the game tonight.
All right, our player of the game, Jacob Snyder, who came in the 3rd inning, picked up the win. Jacob Snyder, the left-hander, the senior from out of New Orleans, Louisiana. I believe I got that right. Yeah, from New Orleans, Louisiana. And for UAPB, our Arkansas Pine Bluff player of the game, where would we go with that one? We got a few guys who, despite the loss, had some nice at-bats and some positive production.
I like to see Humberto Maldonado in the lineup tomorrow. He came in on a pinch hitting role. He got the single. Then he went yard out there by the Dr. Pepper sign. I think they went and got the ball already. It was hit pretty far out there.
Hopefully.
I'm not sure what was going on. But I like to see what he can do inside of the lineup tomorrow. But if I'm going to go player of the game from the Pine Bluff side, I like to pick up I like to pick up a guy by the name of Dante Leach. Dante Leach got on base 4 times tonight. He walked, he singled, and he flew out to right field to end the game. But it wasn't just his offensive performance tonight, Brian. It was his defensive performance on the defensive side of the baseball. He made a couple of off-balance plays, got in a double play there sometime as well. And this kid, he has looking up. He's only a freshman. And he's a COVID freshman. So he played a little bit last year at Glendale Community College. Now he comes to Arkansas Pine Bluff, gets us in the mix. A freshman, he's starting on the field. I like to see more of what this Dante Leach can do this weekend.
All right, so congratulations to our players of the game. Jacob Snyder, for Southern, Dante Leach for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Again, game 2 of this series tomorrow afternoon. Broadcast will begin a little bit before 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. Want to encourage you, if you've been watching, come on out to the ballpark. Beautiful ballpark, beautiful site to watch some HBCU basketball, especially if you were a Southern or an Arkansas Pine Bluff. How about just a SWAC baseball fan? Get out to the ballpark. Make sure to I don't know why I got basketball on my mind. SWAC basketball just finished. SWAC baseball, beautiful SWAC baseball here.
It was a great opportunity tonight, to catch this classic, Brian. I think this is the first time an HBCU contest has been held here in Dr. Pepper Ballpark. A great sight to see. We had the DJ out there playing, his music. We had the kids running around. We had the families in the stands tonight, people coming from all over the country to see their kids play. If you're in the Dallas area, if you're in the Dallas Metroplex area, if you're in the state of Texas, now I know Texas can get pretty big, but this is a site you may want to come check out and support these young men out here that play baseball here in the SWAC. Good job out there by Arkansas Pine Bluff. Good job by Southern. One man had to lose, one man had to win. But with that being said, support our kids. Support the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
All right. I want to thank everyone who helped make this this day and this event possible. Wouldn't be remiss if I didn't thank our sponsors. I want to thank all the sponsors for the Lone Star Diamond Classic who helped make it possible for us to do this broadcast, for our production team, and for my partner here today, Nick Strong. I am Brian Fulford. Thank you for watching Game 1, and make sure you come back and join us for Game 2 tomorrow afternoon. This has been the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network. Good night. God bless and be safe.